Oh man, that's crazy. Let's see. Yo, so in Stranger Things at the end, they bring in they talk about how what's her face made it to like Scandinavia or Sweden or wherever she is. You think she's alive? Do you believe?
Dude, I don't care. Like she's everything became so stupid how everything happened. Like they brought up this villain to be like this ultimate villain, and like random fools are able to withstand him for like 10 minutes straight, and then like everything just happened so conveniently,
At the end.
and then like it was just such a disappointing end.
Yeah.
Like I thought it
Yeah.
was dumb where people were comparing it to Game of Thrones. Like Game of Thrones, Stranger Things can't hold a candle to Game of Thrones and the catastrophe and the greatness of Game of Thrones, the first 4 seasons.
Church. Yeah. I get
But
that. Oh yeah, it's a wild ending, dude. It's wild.
yeah,
It's fucking crazy.
but Stranger
What's up? Welcome back. It's Sunday night. You're here with the Average Boys podcast. It's your boy ChrisP, and I am here with a special guest friend of ours who joined us 2 weeks ago, but on a Saturday that I was just really lost in my mind, which I thought I was a Sunday night, but it wasn't. Relic, the last Relic. He is a friend of the Answers podcast and a friend of Derpy's and ex Lego business guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a
Lego.
Lego store. Yeah.
What do they call people who do like the Lego like building, and is there like a special name like a Lego entrepreneur or
Well, what like wait, actually building their
yeah,
own creations? So there's AFOL, which is like adult fan of Lego, and then there's just mock builders
okay,
who like just build their own great stuff, and maybe they'll take it to an expo or they just do it at home,
that's dope.
you
Like
know.
there's a dude, I've been so surprised on how many people are out there that are really into Legos.
Oh, dude, I had a client. I haven't seen him for years, even with the store. Like I saw him like the first, like I guess the second to last year of me owning the store.
Mhm.
He uh he bought a second home that was like 5,000 square feet just for him and his kids to have Lego because his wife didn't want Lego at the house. So he literally just bought a
Whoa.
second house that was a
Just
massive house
what the
just for
fuck?
him and the kids to go and build Lego all day. So
Jesus
every room,
Christ.
the bathroom, kitchen, all of it was Lego.
Just Legos all over the place.
Just Lego, man.
What God, it's so fucking weird. Like what
Yeah.
is it about Legos that it gets to do that? What's up? What's up, Gene? How you doing, Gene Pierre? What's up, my man?
What do you mean? Like, what is it about the product itself that makes people addicted, makes people
Yeah, like what is it about the idea of like because you buy a Lego set. I mean, I
Yeah.
get it, it's a toy, you can kind of click it together if you're like young kids and stuff like that. But like let's say, I don't know, I'm just gonna shoot one in the dark. You and I were Star Wars guys, like
Mhm.
Slave One from the Mandalorian, right?
Yeah.
Like they sell the Slave One and they're like, all right, here are all the specific pieces. I guess would it be like a puzzle? Is it like a
So
3D puzzle?
So kind of yeah, like a puzzle, but like what really Lego has done like so many psychological studies on, they have the most extensive study of the differences between boys and girls and why they like certain elements or products or whatever,
Mhm.
and their differences. They've done studies on why people actually gravitate towards Lego. And the main thing is we are all designed to
True that.
create something. It doesn't matter. Like men are more inclined to create a thing. Women are more inclined to create something to help people,
Hmm. It's a good call.
or be a part of people, helping them out. So when it comes to Lego, It's more so you're not only building something that's already has a structure to it, so you feel that sense of accomplishment, and there's a high levels of dopamine that you're
Like
receiving.
the reward,
But
right? The reward.
yeah, and then after you start doing this 3D puzzle that did take a long time. There's a slight amount of pain to it when you're pressing Lego pieces. There's a lot of elements, so then it's like triggering so many things within your body that you eventually start thinking, "Oh, this is really cool, but I think I can make, like the Slave One. I think I can make the cannons better. I think I can make the engines a little more realistic to the shots of Cloud City on Empire, stuff
Mhm.
like that." And so then you start actually messing with it, and then you usually believe, whether it is or it isn't true, you usually believe you enhance that set. So then you move on to creating and designing your own things, and actually, like jujitsu, where you problem solve at jujitsu, you
Mhm.
start problem solving outside.
Yep.
You know,
Good stuff. Good stuff.
so
Good stuff.
so that's what like the psychology of Lego and why
Nice.
people stick with it.
Yeah, it's so crazy, man. And again, I'm a comic book dude. Like, and I know you're into comic books also. And I mean,
Mhm.
it wasn't too long ago that we got what was it? Was it fucking the first Spider-Man movie? Tom Holland fucking gets the big ass. Him and Ned are gonna
Yeah, the
build the
Death
whole
Star.
this Death Star.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, fucking that's crazy as shit to me, man. I mean, I don't think I have the patience for Legos, but I do love the art of it, right? Like being able to kind of like Minecraft block
yeah.
or make it look fucking real dope and shit. And then
You think you don't, but as soon as you start off with like, oh, I'll do a tiny Lego, and then
and you're fucking
it
you're going
expands, man.
crazy, dude. Then you're building like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fucking you're building all the fucking castle from Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? You're building all
Oh
that
yeah.
fucking yeah, yeah. You're
I
building all the
have
crazy
Rivendell
shit.
upstairs that I need to build still.
So Relic, welcome to the show. This is your second time on the show. I appreciate you, dude, for coming in, spending some
Yeah.
time with us. Um, our show mainly kind of surrounds itself around nerd culture. We talk a lot about, of course, the Marvel movies, DC movies,
Mhm.
comic books in general. I mean, you look to be like with the stuff in the background, you look to be pretty knowledgeable yourself on the
Little
nerd
bit.
culture itself, right? Um, tell us a little bit about yourself, my man. Like tell us what makes you tick. What's your poison? Like, what's your banner? Like, are you a Star Wars guy? You're a DC fan? You're a Marvel guy? You're a fucking Game of Thrones guy? You're a fucking Witcher guy? What are you, bro?
Dude, I would say overall I'm more of a Tolkien fan. Lord of the
Oh,
Rings,
Lord of the Rings. Oh shit.
like if you see this chair right here,
Yeah.
Lord of the
Oh
Rings
shit.
chair,
Hey, that's dope, dude.
or
Yeah.
is that
Look,
the
literally, I
yeah.
could reach across right here, and I got my
Yeah.
fucking my
Dude,
ring of power. Yeah. Look.
my wedding ring is the Ring of Power.
Is it really? That's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
dope, dude.
and my wife's.
The One Ring, baby. The One Ring to
Yeah,
rule them all.
hell
That's
yeah.
so
And
dope, man. That's so dope.
but I grew up with Star Wars. I grew up with Star Wars. My so
Akira.
my dad took me to the movies when I was a kid,
Hmm.
and especially when we got here to the US. So, but my dad always actually talked about comics because he wasn't part of the comic book culture, but he showed me the Adam West series.
Hmm.
He would tell me about like Superman, and then I remember like going to watch Man of Steel, and his number one complaint was, "Where's the S on the hair? Like, why doesn't Henry
Oh, the
Cavill have the
the
S?" Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He's like, "What the freak
That's
is
a cool
going on?"
call.
Like,
It's a cool call.
and then he would show me like, he's like, what's crazy? Like, Namor was the first Marvel hero, and they never made a movie about him. And then when they did Black Panther 2, my dad's like, "That's not Namor," and he's not even invested like that, you know.
Yeah,
And
oh, that's
so
true.
so Star Wars was like my number one thing, because especially when we came here, I was around 5 years old, going to school, and there was like some, you could say, bullying. It's more like just kids being kids,
Yeah.
especially to somebody who like I can't understand what's going on. So there's like an elevated, you know, feeling of loss there.
Yep.
And so I would come home and I'd get to, have something related to Star Wars around, and I'd watch Return of the Jedi like on repeat. And so then I became like a really, really big fan of Star Wars. And then became because of Disney, I not so
Oh
much of a
man,
fan.
it broke your heart.
Oh, dude, shattered it to pieces and pissed on my heart, dude. Like that's
Oh,
they like one thing about like the MCU doing damage to the MCU is like okay, the comics have done damage to other comics in the past, and
true.
they're always revamping the universe, especially in DC. It's always like, oh, now we're
Crisis
doing
after
another universe.
crisis after
Now, yeah,
crisis.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like okay, so then you kind of get used to it, and you're like, but you could kind of piece it together still, where it's like this storyline is not connected to this, but you could kind of have it like your head canon piece it together,
Mhm.
and where like most comic book fans agree that like, oh yeah, this is when this happens, and then we're gonna take from this comic iteration, even though this whole comic is garbage, but this little storyline was kind of nice. We'll put it in there, you know. So there's like this is what Batman is, this is what Superman is, all that. And
True that.
so
True that.
yeah, like I grew up just like it was like my comfort. Like Lego was my dad worked like 4 jobs at once for the be like at least the first 5 6 years of my life. And so Sundays were the days where we would build because Lego's also expensive in Brazil even today.
Sure.
But he had a friend that like loved Playmobil, and then he'd get some Legos every now and then. And then, you know, having me like I was always the more creative one where like I wanted to do things with my hands.
Okay.
So like whenever he was like you know, like building the basement, I was the one that would go and help because also I was living in his office for 2 years
Hmm.
and I didn't have a bedroom. And so we're like building it together and all his like carpentry work and all that stuff. I always wanted to do stuff with my hands. So that's why I liked Lego. And then just like writing, I started learning, obviously I learned English. I learned Spanish first and then I learned English. Um and then I started writing and I just loved writing stories. And
Oh, very good.
I I don't consider myself a writer, never had anything published or anything like that, but I love the structure and how like movies that are actually good, they don't treat you like an idiot,
True.
you know?
True.
Like if you watch like The Prestige or V for Vendetta, they're
Hmm.
like movies that make you think. And those
True.
those types of movies really kind of push you like towards, you know, like actually caring about things and in the nerd sphere, I guess.
Hmm.
Actually caring about it and the way like having respect to the audience and also what came before and stuff like that.
And what do
So,
you
yeah.
and based on that, like just talking about this, like recently it came out that I want to say like maybe 4 months ago
Mm.
that they were talking about revamping V for Vendetta and turning it into like a series. I don't know if it was Netflix or Prime or whatever, but someone was
Like,
talking about picking it up and turning it into a show. Do you think that's a good idea for them to do?
well, you know, like V for Vendetta is a DC comic, right? And I think it's a good idea if they're able to be extremely objective. Here's the thing, like I it wasn't a video. I said it on a live stream. Like if you like forget about all the politics and the companies screwing up, you know, race swapping, all that stuff. Forget about that. But just think about the announcements that are being made. Like, hey, we're getting Doomsday, we're getting Supergirl, Swamp Thing, we're getting a Star Wars movie. Like, take away all that stuff. It sounds like the best year of cinema we're gonna get, right?
Yep.
Like ever. But
Yep.
what's happening? Like we know like the puppet master. We know that these companies care about their agendas. They care about, you know, pushing some sort of message, pushing some ideology that has nothing to do with the source material, and they're just using that source, like the I would say
Popularity,
maybe like popularity
yeah, of those
to
IPs.
fund their stuff. Yeah. So I don't want to always be negative, but these whichever company picks it, like it, I really have to kind of take a look. Like if it's gonna be Netflix, you know, they're I would say 60-40. Every now and then they do a good adaptation. Like from as far as I know, like One Piece. A lot people love the One Piece live action, but like your poster Attack on Titan, it sucks so bad they had to take it off Netflix.
Yep. Hey, Chrissy, what's
You
up?
know.
No, we haven't talked about it yet. We're gonna talk about it a little bit later, Lobo. And miss you too, man. Hope you're doing good. Been seeing you with your family online, so good stuff. Good stuff. Um, yeah, it's really crazy because you go back, you take a look at Alan Moore's V for Vendetta. He walked away from all the Hollywood adaptations of his comic books. It
Yeah.
wasn't something he wanted to do or watch or whatever because he knew that Hollywood was going to change the message in some way. And if you're familiar, like audience wise, I know you're probably
Hmm.
familiar with it, Relic. If you're familiar with Alan Moore, he was this guy that talked about like the what is it, like the Illuminati of the government, like
Yeah. Yeah.
the New World Order, talked about how the government was trying to do, like the 9/11 was an inside job, the people that were trying to like
Yeah.
reestablish society. If you go back and watch V for Vendetta right now, there are so many like nuances to
It's
how,
kind of scary.
yeah, it's
It's kind of
fucking,
scary, man.
it's too on the nose. It's too on the nose to the way a lot of things are. And I'm not much to talk about like politics on the show,
Yeah.
but like it resonates in such a weird way that you have to look at it and be like, yo, maybe Alan Moore was right. But like when he allowed that message to be told at that time, the narrative goes against what the culture wants it to say. And
Yeah.
I think that's why the new age kind of like conglomerates want to
Hmm.
touch it now and change the message to make it more embedded to what their message wants to be.
Yeah. Like, and here's the thing: a good writer can adapt things even that is inherently against what their belief system
Their
is,
belief system is.
because they understand the product. They could grab something that they might not like themselves, and they figure out why the audience likes it and expand on that. And by the way, Vince, Punisher would win against V because
Yeah,
it's the
he's
Punisher.
too way too fucking violent.
Yeah,
V for
and he
Vendetta is
has
cool, but
guns.
like
Yeah.
Punisher never goes in without studying the person he's going after. Like he would be too prepared.
Yeah, and to be honest, he'd probably V and the Punisher would team up more than anything.
True.
But but like for instance, like Alan Moore, like he was painted one of those, tinfoil hat guys,
Yeah, he
and
was a crazy dude. Everybody thought he
yeah,
was a
like this
fucking
guy's
nutcase.
insane. Yeah. And the thing is, like if you being from like I grew up here, but I was always understood and was involved in like politics of Brazil, and
Mhm.
I love history. When you don't pick a side, but you have a set of principles, usually whatever is, I guess, you could call it your boss or the company or the government, whatever's in power that's around your life, they usually don't like you or ostracize you because they want you to pick a side.
Yeah.
Like if you look at just a movie, V for Vendetta, they talk about right wing and left wing, right? Where like
Mhm.
at the time, but they say it, but they talk about the principles that are being lived by. It's not right wing, it's radicalist to believe that there shouldn't be any tolerance. It's like these things inherently do this. And the whole point was that like no, there's a basis that those things gravitate towards those terrible ends.
Mhm.
But it doesn't mean that you have to destroy everything just because like it has more of an inclining here and there, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so then it was the set of principles, and now the script is kind of flipped where you know those who are like if you're too whichever side of the spectrum you're on, you're too much, you're not
Radicalized.
in you're not yeah, you're radicalized, but you're not understanding what tolerance is, which is just like you don't have to accept people for who they are, you have to tolerate them.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to accept your lifestyle, but if you're a good person, we could still talk, disagree, and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
that's where a lot of Alan Moore, if you see his allegory and his comics and his other writings of novels, it was just like have your own set of principles. Don't attach yourself to a name or party or whatever, but if you have these principles, that can't be taken away from you. And so then it was more of like the traditional liberal, like, hey, live your life, just don't involve me in it, and that's it.
Yeah, and I feel like if they go after like trying to rewrite it right now, it'd be like way different.
Yeah, and you see that's like a big thing with comic book writers. Like one great comic book writer, Graham Nolan,
Yeah.
first appearance of Bane, he talked about it in multiple people's podcasts where like he'd get assigned, like when you work for DC or Marvel and you're writing comics, you're assigned characters or entire properties, and you might not even like them. Like he would talk about how, like, he was assigned to write, I don't know for which hero, but he really hated the entire storyline,
Hmm.
but he didn't try to make it fit to something that he liked.
Yeah.
He studied like, why do the fans like this? What makes it tick? And let me expand with my style on
Yeah.
that so it stays true. And he still didn't even like it at the end because it's not his cup of tea.
Hmm.
But he brought something to the fans that they loved because
And he
they hated.
respected the
Yeah.
character's own creation and not try to like. It's almost like what they did with the Punisher, right? Because that's a
Mm.
really good method. I mean, especially since someone mentioned, I think Vince mentioned the Punisher earlier. Um, because of like the current nature of politics and law enforcement and all that stuff, there's
Yeah.
been this whole like rebranding of the Punisher character in the Marvel comics. To
Oh,
where,
dude,
dude, they
it's
fucking
awful. It's
destroyed his character,
awful.
dude. Like it's ridiculous because like there was never an issue with this. Like there was never an issue with comic
Yeah.
books and all that shit. And because people complained about either the logo or the masculinity of the character, they fucking the guy that created the Punisher did damage
Yeah.
to the character himself too.
No,
Like
yeah, like
fuck, dude, they
people
fuck.
lose themselves, dude. People lose themselves. That's a problem as well. Like,
You know what killed me about that was like the situation that they did with his wife. I don't know if you remember this.
dude, yeah. I
That
remember.
fucking man, dude,
Yeah.
I was so pissed off. I've never been pissed off like at comic books. Like I've never been pissed off at comic books. Like them bringing Cap back and turning him into a Hydra agent. Like that's like I was like, oh no. But I'm in my mind, I'm like, well, this is cool writing because what the fuck, Captain America was boring before this. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like they
boring
weren't
to
doing
you though.
anything,
Boring
huh?
to you.
No,
Like,
because they were doing Pleasantville, dude. Come on,
yeah,
Pleasantville
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
even that great, dude.
Like I just think there's a problem with like coasting. Like when something is good and then they're just like, let's just stay here, but then implement a bunch of stupid ideas like
Yeah, they
Pleasantville.
fucking filler shit.
Yeah.
They do filler shit.
Yeah.
So they had the old man Steve Rogers going on. You know, Maria Hill was in charge of Shield. Like they had this
Dude.
whole little fucking town that they put all. It was so dumb. It was too drawn out. It was too
Yeah,
drawn
yeah,
out.
yeah.
And they were trying to do the whole. There's a new Captain America. It wasn't working because instead of having the Falcon fight fucking aliens or Thanos, he was fighting like racism and the KKK. And it was like, bro, like, can he just be a hero? Like, can he just
Like,
do something cool? Like, I don't need to see him deal with shit that we have to talk about in everyday life. Like, I want to see him
yeah.
be a superhero.
And none of it felt authentic.
Nah, none of
It's
it
like
landed either.
we were talking about just the TV show, and like how ridiculous it was. It's like, so you're telling me a veteran can't get a loan?
Oh yeah, yeah. The fucking
And
Captain America shit
yeah.
when they did the
Like
fucking what was it, Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Soldier, yeah, show whatever it was, like
That was
Falcon.
ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, like they couldn't get a loan, and I'm like, okay, he's also friends with a billionaire who's dead, but
I
like
mean,
like he can't
literally,
get a loan. He can't get any funding from Shield. He can't. Like you're telling me all this stuff that is like perfectly set up for this guy, he can't get. And here's the thing: people who don't have friends as police officers, if a police officer is in their squad car in a bad neighborhood, they are most likely never gonna get out of their car.
yeah, man, they're gonna be like, all right, not the place, not the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Like, and then they see, oh, like, is this man bothering you, sir? And it's like, dude. And the other problem was like Bucky's lines. Like he was talking like a 20-year-old. I'm like, this guy is from the 1930s and
Yep.
40s. He's not gonna say things like
I
Like, are you kidding me?
Yo, and they shit on Bucky so bad in the
Dude, yeah.
Thunderbolt show. They've shit on his character. Like, I wasn't as disappointed with because the thing is, Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie are they have such great chemistry because of their friendship in real life. So like them on the
I think it's
show,
good, but
they had some really good, charming moments together, right? Like the humanization of each of the character was nice, but it was like
yeah.
so like the bank scene. I was so pissed off at.
Well, like they made Falcon and Bucky bad guys in their own show. Like what's the Captain America they had on there?
Flag Smasher. Oh, U.S. Agent.
The U.S. agent. He did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Like they were like, you got blood on the shield. I'm like, have you not? Literally, Steve Rogers took this to World War II. You think he wasn't killing people with the shield?
Why? Yeah, I was like, the fucking shield has to bounce back somehow. Like, you know what I mean?
And
Like,
not only that, like it shows him killing people in every single movie of his,
yeah,
where he's like
running in with a
drop
gun,
kicking somebody,
throwing grenades, like,
or just literally kicking a human through a concrete wall. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's just the concept, right? Like, and I get it. Like, they wanted to paint the character as like this malicious person who was out of control, but it folds into the story, right? So that was the thing about like U.S. Agent to Captain America. You couldn't have a 1-for-1, right?
I understand that, but they did that by accident because why did he go after the terrorist and kill him? Because the guy who served next to him was his brother in arms and everything.
Yeah.
He got killed in front of him, so then he went after the guy and killed him. And they're like, oh yeah, unfortunately, bad press got on the media, and they're like, oh, you don't deserve this. Like, what are you talking about? Captain America, when he found out that Bucky killed Tony's parents, hid it from Tony, and then when Tony confronted it, he almost killed Tony to save Bucky.
Yeah.
And that was a friend of his. That wasn't a terrorist. He almost did that.
But that feeds into the holier than thou Captain America persona, right? Like that's the difference between him and U.S. Agent. U.S. Agent is supposed to be what the comic books want, or not the comics, the government of that nature. They want Captain to be the soldier. He's got to be the soldier. So like, of course, Captain America always has this like, there has to be a better way, which is almost like the Batman don't kill kind of like concept. Of course, like Batman going through the city with a fucking 30 cal machine gun on the top of his car, blowing up vehicles and killing dudes. Like he's killed dozens of fucking people, like hundreds, you know what I mean? Like, but we just don't look at them because they're NPCs. They're like the forgettable characters. They're just in the background, right?
You see, like I would agree with you, but the problem is like he almost killed a friend, and this guy literally killed a terrorist. So I think Steve Rogers, if it was a terrorist instead of Iron Man, he would have killed him. And they do end up making Steve Rogers one of the biggest douchebags in the entire DC or MCU history.
Yeah.
And an Endgame where like they literally told you to not mess with freaking history and
he still did,
timelines because
you had a baby.
Yeah, you went and had a baby with this chick, so you stole some other guy's life who was supposed to marry Peggy. And you already moved on. You also left your friend in present day who is also from that time. And then you didn't prevent any of the other things like, I don't know, freaking 9/11.
Yeah,
like,
just regular things, right? Well, we don't know what kind of stuff happens in that world, right? But the concept is even this, like he in his universe made out with the niece of Peggy Carter, went back in time and had a baby with her. So like, would that not be like some Alabama shit? Like we just talked about this like 2 shows ago with my friend Triggs, and I was like, is that not something they really thought about? Like he made out
obviously they don't think shit. They don't think, dude. Like a shout out to Vince pointing out that it's a better story for Bucky to get the shield because that would have made more sense. Like his redemption arc, even in the MCU,
historically in comic books, that's the way it's supposed to happen.
Well, like in comic books, they did give it to Falcon, but it sucked so bad that they eventually gave it to Bucky. And the fans of Captain America were like, actually, it's kind of working. It was one of those things that like we don't want the mantle passed Steve Rogers, Captain America, but it actually kind of worked with Bucky.
But Bucky got it first, didn't he? When he turned into like the black armed Captain America, I thought he got it first.
Right after The Civil War.
No, this is before that. Because he had the black costume with the shield on his chest.
Yeah, but like the official one where like Captain America actually died.
Oh yeah, yeah, and then
You
they.
know, like Falcon got it, and then
But
Bucky got it.
there was a comic book. I want to say, let me see, watch
It was more
Bucky,
like he borrowed it for a minute because Captain America came back.
Captain America. I want to say that this was before Falcon, right?
And but I just want to address. Can I address
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah. Go
comment
ahead.
from
Go
the
ahead.
chat? So Chrissy, you said we are the old generation. They are just
Mhm.
giving the newer generation what they want to stay what they want to stay in business. That goes for everything: commercials, TV shows, movies, etc. I would say that's completely wrong because they're losing money. The newer generation would be supporting this through funds, and they're like everything is dead. That's why they're trying to get the nostalgic feel back. And remember, the young generation grew up with the MCU movies the same as we did essentially. We're just different ages. And like I think like for instance, I got kids. There's no way in hell they're gonna watch the new James Gunn Superman. You know, they're watching Christopher Reeve and then maybe Man of Steel for fun, but that's not really a fun movie. It's a garbage movie. And they're gonna watch the animated series. I'm not gonna show them the new Superman like cartoons that they're pumping out, which are really weird. They cuss and stuff like that. So it kind of, and even if they gravitate towards the newer stuff, it's there's like certain stories that just connect to all people, the hero's journey, right? Because everybody, no matter what kind of struggle it is, we all go through struggle. And the whole point of like having a favorite character isn't because of the way that character looks or having the exact same problems that you as a person has. It's an aspiration to who they are and how they're acting when a certain situation of adversity comes in. You know, like I love Goku from Dragon Ball Z, but we don't like if we're talking about parallels in how our life happened, almost completely unrelatable. But because of his actions towards adversity and also towards progress, like you aspire to be like him. You know, like if you're fat, you shouldn't want to aspire to a hero that's also fat.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what
no
I mean?
shit.
Like if you want to get healthier, you shouldn't aspire to that hero. That's not a hero. So when you see somebody that's fit, you're going to have like a more inclining to like pay attention to that person when they're talking about fitness or something like
Mhm.
that.
So it was Bucky
Yeah.
Barnes after Civil War who immediately takes over the mantle, but he's more
Mhm.
like U.S. agent, where he's like a heavier handed Captain
Yeah,
America.
like he borrows it. Like that was the whole thing. Like he
Yeah, because
wasn't.
the Avengers
Yeah.
approached him because they needed a captain, right? They needed that was the same
Mhm.
thing as like Wally West taking the mantle of the Flash, that by people telling him,
Yeah,
"Hey, well,
yeah.
the Justice League needs a Flash." But Bucky ends up being Captain America, and he ends up going, and it ends up not turning out all right because he's still dealing with all
Mhm.
his trauma dumping shit, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, if I'm not mistaken, like Captain America comes back to life, and he's like, give me my shield back. And Bucky's like, all right, Cap, like, I'm sorry I fucked up or whatever. Like, and then Cap steps back up. Then later on, when he becomes the old Captain America or some shit, that's when he lets Falcon or whatever the fuck do his shit, right?
Yeah.
But like, actually, I think it was during Hail Hydra. During the Hydra Captain America thing? Right before
Um.
it, wasn't it? Because then he gets that fucking triangle looking shield.
Yeah. I can't remember. I haven't read a Captain America comic in so freaking long. I
Yeah.
remember waiting in line like on a Wednesday morning to get the issue because there was like my friends called me that they were telling me that Captain America died, and I was like, I don't freaking believe it.
Yeah,
Like, there's
fucking no
no
one ever
freaking way.
dies. Unless your
And
name's Captain
then,
Marvel, no one ever dies, dude. Marvel or whatever.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, then
they
no.
did kill him, Captain Marvel. like,
Yeah, no,
and
yeah,
then
he's
made
fucking
him
dead,
into a
dead.
chicken.
He's dead,
Yeah,
dead.
he's
Like,
dead. He's
that
dead,
motherfucker
dead.
never came back for nothing, bro. They took some secret origins, a secret invasion shit, and then they killed him, and they were like, "Nah, bitches, we were just kidding. That fucker's dead of cancer,
Yeah,
bro."
and then they tried to erase him, like, oh, this
Oh,
character
with the
also
fucking,
never
I thought
happened.
that was insane, dude. Like,
Dude. Yeah,
it's so nuts, dude. Like, I tell people all the time, like, in Marvel comic books, you never die. Like, you never really die. Like,
yeah,
no one ever dies. I mean, fucking movies are doing the same shit right now. We're about to get fucking RDJ back for no good fucking reason, right?
yeah, because he's the face of their MCU. Like here's the problem. These studios and actors believe that they are above the role. No actor is above the role.
Mhm.
Like Michael Keaton was Batman. Great, he's a great Batman, like of that particular style. And then we got like
Separate
start
iterations.
talking about there's some other iterations, and then it became like no, Christian Bale is like the definitive Batman. And
Mhm.
then we got Ben Affleck. And
Okay.
then other people are like, no, that's like the best Bruce Wayne, and we have a problem with that Batman. And
Uh,
then we got Robert Pattinson. Like, they did the same thing with Joker. They're like, oh, nobody could top Jack Nicholson, and then Heath Ledger did, and
yep.
then he was almost a parallel of Joaquin Phoenix. And then we're like, okay, so there can be more than just one
Hmm.
actor because no actor is above the role. Like their biggest mistake was not recasting Chadwick Boseman on Black Panther.
Yep. We always talk about it here on the show that we thought it was a huge mistake.
That massive mistake, man.
Yep.
Um, Not only that, it's like they they're trying. I totally understand the part of like trying to honor that actor, but you're not doing it with the role. Like, make a documentary if you want, like talk about in some sort of press conference how much you guys loved him or something like that. But
Mhm.
just being like, oh, we can't recast this role because people love Chadwick Boseman. Like, no, they love Black Panther,
Well, now look at
and they
themselves.
also
Now
love
look at that
Chadwick Boseman.
situation. Like,
Yeah,
at that moment, they were like you said, nah, we can't recast it because no one will ever replace Chadwick Boseman as our King T'Challa. Now they have to
yeah,
recast it. Now we're in a position where,
yeah,
like,
because they suck so much
because
that they're
yeah,
gonna
because it was
recast it.
such a
Yeah,
fucking stupid decision,
yeah,
like such a horrible decision that now they're like, fuck, we got to recast him. What do we do? And man, I remember, like, it was a sad moment when Chadwick Boseman died. Like, I was upset. Like, a lot of
yeah,
people were
yeah,
brokenhearted. He was such a good, cool guy, and he played the role so well and did so many cool things in the black community to go out and, like, when he would do speeches at colleges and fucking, it was so cool to see him,
yeah,
like, it was almost like symbolistically, or like he kind of like was able to play this role out in the open too, not because he just like played a role or put a mask on, but since he kind of portrays himself in real life to be such a good, humble guy and really
yeah,
understanding and good, you kind of like you just embody the character every time you see him. And other people would
yeah,
acknowledge he'd be at a basketball game and someone hits him with it. Like, it sparked such a
yeah.
cool movement, right?
Yeah, like, well, he understood that he was in a rare position to do something so freeing with his time for money,
Yeah,
right? Because there was a lot of actors that were like, I'm an actor, I am better than everybody on the earth, right? There was
yeah.
those actors,
Brie
especially
Larson,
for yeah, which she had no
she suffered
no
from it.
place. Yeah. Yeah, but like I'm talking about like old school actors, like like Marlon Brando. He thought he was better than everybody.
Or even like yeah, like the Leonardo DiCaprio and like the
Yeah,
chauvinistic characters.
yeah. So Chadwick Boseman, much like I would say people like Liam Neeson and even John Cena, they're like, no, like this is a privilege that I worked so hard to be in a place where people recognize me for these characters that I'm playing. That like I'm
Like
gonna,
Denzel,
yeah, Denzel Washington. Like
and that's
I'm
someone
going,
he mentored under and looked up to.
yeah, yeah.
That was
And so
yeah.
they stayed humble, realizing that like they're entertaining people with real jobs that are, grinding away and kind of make the world go around. So
Mhm.
it's almost like them being that humble was a way to give back because they get to go pretend for a living. and make millions of dollars,
Yep.
while the person that's actually giving them their hard-earned $20 for a movie
The-
ticket has to go do a 12-hour shift at like,
Some
like
hard labor work. Yeah.
yes, they're like at their construction job the next day. But you brought them some form of happiness by doing what you do. And so, like, I think overall, and I've always thought it was divisive, like, oh, this actor did this for the black community or the whatever community. I'm like, I just think he did it for people.
Yeah.
I just thought he really united people of like, you like this character, it doesn't matter what color you are. Like, I work hard to bring everybody together. And I think Disney and other organizations kind of psyop that by always labeling like, oh, he did so much for the black community. It's like, no, he just did it for every community,
For everybody.
and
For the
that's what made
comic
him.
community.
Yeah, dude. Like, and he was one of the people that like talked about bringing Wesley Snipes, because Wesley Snipes was originally supposed to be Black Panther. Wesley
Mhm.
Snipes was pushing to be Black Panther like before the MCU ever was a thing.
Yeah.
And
But he's Blade.
yeah, the one and only Blade.
The one and only. No one else.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the man, like and I remember I loved Civil War for Black Panther,
Yeah.
and I really hated the Black Panther movie. Like,
It was a little eh.
I just thought they made it so dumb.
Yeah, it was cheesy. I mean, the only thing charming about it was M'Baku, Shiri's relationship with
With
T'Challa.
her brother, yeah.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
T'Challa. And then the mom.
Yeah.
The mom.
Oh yeah, and I
was-
love that actress. Yeah.
Oh, dude, Angela Bassett. Motherfucker. She's so good at everything she does.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought, dude, you would have loved that episode to be on that show. You would have loved to have been a fly on the wall on that day, dude. I was when I saw Black Panther 2 and I saw that like they went with the idea of killing the mom. I was like, bro, you ruined this
Dude.
whole movie franchise, bro. Like that was the only person acting wise that can carry this whole movie.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. I was
Like-
already hating that movie. I freaking stopped watching when I saw that they did a DJ booth to open like freaking Wakanda, like the force field or whatever.
Mhm.
I was like,
okay,
that's ridiculous.
So here, like, Vince asks, well, I'm gonna go back a little bit. So he says, "You like Bucky in the MCU was in the spotlight, then Sam from Winter Soldier, and then the Civil War, which makes sense for Bucky to have the shield." Well, it just made sense because they gave so many like Easter eggs. Like one of the biggest ones was in the Captain America first movie, The First Soldier. He's about to fall out of the train and he grabs the shield and he aims the gun, which goes right back to his character because his Captain America, the picture I just showed a little while ago, had a pistol. Like it was Captain with a fucking handgun like all the time.
Yeah. And
Um,
also, like, Bucky didn't have a character. He was no longer the Winter Soldier. He was just Bucky.
Yeah, he was just
And-
Bucky, yeah.
And Falcon, you had to destroy a really great character. Falcon was
An
a phenomenal
original
character.
Black
An
comic
original,
book character.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was fucking nuts to me, dude. Like in
Yeah.
a world right now
And
that
give
the
him sloppy
comic book
seconds, that
companies
was
are like
crazy.
fighting for this fucking bullshit of like, oh, we need representation and all this shit. They were easily wanting to take the Falcon name away and give him the comic book selling white Captain America name. Like I was like, what are you doing, bro? Like
Yeah.
could have named him fucking Captain Falcon or Major Falcon or something cool. Just give him the shield and fucking
Like-
just call him fucking something else, dude. Like
Like, I would, no, I'd just keep him as Falcon.
yeah. Well,
Like,
no,
dude.
yeah, that would be the great idea. Like you call him
Like-
fucking. I don't,
Like,
Captain
here's
Falcon
the
would have been
thing.
dope because of
They-
F-Zero and
They
Smash
could've-
Brothers.
They could have did the original comics where like Falcon and Captain America was the dynamic duo.
Yep.
By making Bucky Captain America and then them being the dynamic duo, and having
Well,
the
Captain
series, you know.
America. Well, Bucky is the Red Hood version for Captain America. He's
Yeah.
he's the redheaded stepson that fucking needs to go off and fucking emo out in the corner and run away from home a couple times and do some fentanyl, like, and then come back and be like, "I'm sorry, I killed a bunch of people." Right? Like that's what Bucky does. And
Yeah, but they
Falcon
don't
was
have to make
always
it that way.
Falcon was always the Dick Grayson. Like we can get
Yeah,
to it. Like he was the Dick Grayson of the group. He was
yeah,
the
the
good
straight
guy.
edge, the
Yeah, he was
like
straight edge. Doesn't drink,
said
doesn't
there's an
smoke.
order to
Goes
things.
home,
There's
reads the Bible. Fucking just does his thing, right, dude.
yeah,
That was fucking Sam Wilson, the fucking Falcon. Like he's the guy, super smart engineer, made his own wings, made a fucking
yeah.
bird, a drone on his own. Didn't need DJI equipment. Like the dude had it all, bro. The dude had it all. But yeah, it's just stuff. Vince says since they had to recast Black Panther, will it be a good or bad response? But do you think they'll recast Wolverine and have a bad response? They don't need to recast Wolverine.
I would say they do.
I talked about this a long time ago with Logan, and I said they're gonna wait for Daphne Keane to grow up, and then they don't need to recast Wolverine because they're just gonna bring her in, and that's why they pushed for X-23 to be the comic book Wolverine now.
Did you hear which I also think is stupid, but did you hear the leaks of Doomsday where we're gonna get Fox's X-Men fighting Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man like at the first like 10 minutes of the
I
film?
don't know why. Like everyone was like, "Oh, it's because in the X-Men movie, someone dresses up in a Spider-Man costume in the background and blah blah." I was like, "Bro, that's the same thing as saying we're gonna get an incursion and the Avengers are gonna kill the kid in the Iron Man 2 movie with the helmet because he's their version of Iron Man and he's got a helmet.
Yeah,
they gotta kill that
that's
kid."
stupid. Like
It's like,
there
what the
was a plan originally for Fox to bring in Fantastic Four. Like they were doing Ghost Rider, all that stuff to bring in to have like an ultimate alliance, not really like a team up.
Mhm.
Where like there was gonna be a huge big bad. But yeah, like the reason being is because Tobey Maguire sells. That's it.
Yeah.
The Fox X-Men sells. Like all these things sell way more than the MCU right now. But to answer Vince, I think you're gonna get a bad reaction for a little bit. It depends on the end product. When Black Panther comes out and if the guy does a good job and there's a good script and pays respect to, I guess you could say the actor Chadwick Boseman, but at least pays respect to what the fans loved from like Civil War, Black Panther, and what we got, then it's that backlash is gonna go away. You know,
See,
like
and I think a little bit different. I think the moment we see a male Black Panther character come back, everyone's gonna be fucking happy. No one's gonna give a shit. And they're gonna realize how much of a fuck up it was. They're gonna be like, "Oh, why
well,
didn't we do that before?"
I'm talking about the backlash that we're gonna get, whether it's big
I
or
don't think we're gonna
small.
get a
Like
backlash at
that'll go
all,
away.
dude. I don't think there's gonna be
I
like
hope
no
not.
backlash, bro. Once
Well,
they see that
the media
shit,
tries to make
and
it.
because everybody was so disappointed in the Shiri story because it felt so like, it's just a chick in a Black Panther outfit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she sucks. Like, I don't mean to be rude.
Then to
I
use
liked her with the guns in her hand and just hanging out in the background, not in the whole fucking. And I know in the comic books, like T'Challa dies in the comics because goes to Necropolis, becomes the king of the dead. Shuri and Storm are like, "Oh, we got to bring T'Challa back." Shuri sacrifices herself or dies, and then T'Challa comes back and boom, Black Panther again.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was like, "Yo, did we just skip all of the cool shit that made Black Panther like the whole setup for Secret Wars when he fucking brings in the Marvel zombies and he's the actual fucking king of the dead? Did we just fucking bypass like
we
80,
bypassed all
90%
that.
of that? Now no one knows that. No one knows what Necropolis is. They don't know why he's called the king of the dead. Like
they don't know the attachments to Dr. Voodoo, the
they don't fucking
they don't know any of that stuff, man.
Like there's I think 100% people when they see the fucking moment that the fucking shadow comes out and it's fucking T'Challa's outfit and it's a fucking dude, they're gonna be like, "We're back in business, boys. Like, let's go, fucking boom." I think that's how.
That's if they do that. That's if they do that storyline, brother. Like,
they're not gonna do the death of T'Challa, Necropolis comeback. No, this is gonna be a whole like, it's another universe, T'Challa. They're gonna fuck it up. If not, it's just the sun.
That's what I think Doomsday is. It's just to bring in like other universe.
I hate that,
like,
dude.
yeah, it's stupid. But to point out Wolverine, whether they need or don't need to recast Wolverine, there's gonna be some backlash in the beginning, because Hugh Jackman did such a great job with the Wolverine, but he
Mhm.
got backlash even before the X-Men came out, and even after
Because he was
X1 and
tall. They made fun of
X2.
it in Deadpool.
He was tall. He was too much in the spotlight because Wolverine, if you read X-Men comics, he was never a main character. He was a side
Yeah, he's
character.
like,
Like oh, that's a cool story, and then he got his own Logan comics, and that was cool. And like
and
Weapon
this
X,
is where
yeah,
that's a perfect example because Old Man Logan is going to be a perfect place for Hugh Jackman. And that's why you
if
can
they do it
have.
right. I hated the Logan movie.
Well, dude, well, the Logan movie wasn't great. Like, it was stupid. Limo
Yeah,
driver, all this shit.
like
Like,
they didn't bring in Hawkeye. There was no
yeah.
Hulk incest family. Like
Yeah,
there was
dude, they just fucking bypassed the whole goddamn movie. And
yeah
they
they
were
could
just like,
and it
oh,
would
you
have
know
been
what'd be cool?
yeah.
If you had like a buddy cop movie with Charles Xavier and Wolverine, the guy with the claws on his hand has to babysit this dude that can break everyone's brain at an Omega level fucking
No,
way.
and I thought the press was so funny when they were like, "Oh yeah, Hugh Jackman, he's old to play Wolverine," and literally in the movie they show him as a younger version of Wolverine as
Yeah.
a clone, and then next to the old, I'm like, "Oh, so he
That was
still got it." What are you
stupid,
guys
man.
talking about?
A lot of
But like,
people, I get it, where they're like, oh, it's because it had a lot of like the goofy Fox Wolverine shit, right?
yeah,
Like him fucking killing the Phoenix, like him running through the forest with a muscle shirt on, stabbing random dudes and being Wolverine. Like it's just all silly shit with Wolverine movies. Like there's no definitive. Like there was the fucking Japan Samurai Wolverine movie,
the
right?
Wolverine 2. Yeah,
Yeah, there
that
was
was
that
sick.
one, which I kind of feel was a little bit better. The Silver Samurai was fucking retarded. Like it was stupid. And him cutting his fucking claws off and making the bone. I thought that was stupid as shit too. Like, how did the
You thought
bone?
so?
Well, how did the bone get through the resolving metal? Like, how did it come out if there was like an inch of adamantium left?
Oh, like so the way they designed it was like the adamantium was infused in the bone, but not the bone marrow. So like the middle of the bone marrow, that's how it injected in.
Yeah, yeah,
So
but
the
then they
claws
would
were
have
still
came out
bone.
really, really thin,
Yeah, I
and
agree.
they would have
But
looked like rebar more than blades. Like they look like blades. They're like they even come out with a little pinza at the end, like the little spike.
yeah.
And I'm like, wait, why does it have a spike, bro? It's just it got cut. Like even the fucking blades are flat. Like it come out as just flat. He would have like stabbed the guy and he had like 3 points in his head, like three circles, like marks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have fucking stabbed him. Like, but it had to get to the whole like, well, he doesn't have his how do we get to the bone claws? How do we get to the bone? I'm like, God damn it, dude. Like, please, bro. Like,
Yeah, they
there's so
effed up
many.
quite a bit.
I think because again, Old Man Logan plays a pretty big, not big, but kind of a good explanatory story in Secret Wars. Like Old Man Logan is there, jumping over walls. He's the first one that runs into like She-Hulk and the zombies. He's the one that runs into the
Yeah.
first Storm Thor. Like he's the one that goes into the Armor Wars. Like he gets thrown all over them. Like it's just him getting thrown over walls and surviving, and then him
Mhm.
going on goofy Scooby Doo adventures. Right? That's what
Yeah,
they
yeah.
use fucking Wolverine for. That's what he's been fucking knocked down to. And then he eventually lands in like the arms of like a 16-year-old Jean Grey, and then he's like, "Oh, Jean, is that you?" And I'm like, "Bro, stop! You're 900 years old. She's barely 16. Like, please get away from this fucking story."
Hey, at least they're
stop.
not adapting the new comic where like Cyclops and Wolverine decide to stop fighting over Jean Grey and just decide to bone each other.
Yeah, sure. Like
That's literally like a new comic where like they're just effing each other now instead of Jean Grey.
these guys are just boning. Like it's
Yeah.
just dudes on dude crime. Like, oh man, dude, X-Men on X-Men crime is so sad. Fucking shit. Yeah. So if they use Old Man Logan, they'll just bump up Daphne Keene, and then everyone, all the weird hipster comic book readers are gonna be like, "Oh my god, we're gonna get Daphne King in the fucking classic Wolverine outfit." I'm like, bitch, it's not
Dude.
classic for her. It's not her.
Yeah.
It's not her. Like that's Wolverine shit. Like I get it. You want to just see it as a girl. You want to You want to make her look hot.
It's
I get it, bro.
it's fan art. It's
yeah,
fan
pretty
art.
much what it is. It's like Gwenpool. Gwenpool's a
Yeah,
fucking stupid character. She just happens to live outside the comic books, knows everything, and is so cool or whatever the fuck.
yeah.
She's
There
just
has to be a version of every freaking hero. It's so annoying.
if they recast Wolverine, what would be a fan cast? Danzig, bro.
Yeah,
The
like the
metal
major
singer.
Dan cast was Henry Cavill, the Cavalrine.
You thought
That was
dude, I'm for fucking Daniel Radcliffe, bro. Like bring Harry Potter. Fuck him, dude.
nah,
Fuck him. What's he doing?
dude.
Like getting jerked off on horseback, like naked. Like, come on, bro. Like take him away from all the nonsense he's doing. He did the movie with the two guns in his hands. Like
Yeah,
fucking stop this guy, dude. Like he
no,
went back to
just
doing college level films. He's
keep him
gonna be
at
the
the
new
retarded
Gerard
movies.
Butler.
Like keep him there, dude.
He's gonna
Keep
be
him.
the new Gerard Butler. He's gonna be making 300 and look like a badass, and then start making fucking weird Olympus Fallen college movies. Like, no, we gotta save these guys. We gotta save the cool ones, man.
No, no,
We
no.
can't have them go
Like,
Ron Weasley on us, dude.
I don't think Daniel Radcliffe should be a Wolverine. I would say I just want a good actor. I don't care about him being tall or short. I want more of the story and an actor who cares. Like here's one of the reasons why it's gonna be hard to recast somebody as Wolverine other than Hugh Jackman, because Hugh Jackman
Yes,
actually cared about the
he
source
loves the
material.
character.
Like when the creator of Wolverine was dying, Hugh Jackman was the only one to visit him. Marvel didn't visit him. Um, Disney didn't visit him. Like nobody in the comic sphere visited him other than Hugh Jackman
Hmm.
at the hospital. Like and gave him money to help with the treatments. Nobody else did that. Nobody. And that's freaking sad, man.
That's
Because he was
crazy.
still like turning over a profit for Marvel Comics at the time with his old stories and some of his new stuff. Um, but like when there is an actor that truly appreciates the source material, that's what's hard to cast because it's like, okay, is somebody just gonna play Wolverine for a buck and they're like, I'm sick of playing Wolverine because I don't want to be known as Wolverine. Like, dude, that's a privilege to be known as your whole life as the Wolverine,
Yeah,
as
that's why I
Batman.
fucking.
Like,
There's a moment in my life that I would have kicked the shit out of Chris Evans, dude. Like there was a moment,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
because when he stepped away and was like, "Yeah, I think I'm done doing this character. I want to do my own thing. Like, I don't want to just be known as this character." I was like,
Yeah,
"Bro,
and
I'll
then his
kick
entire career plummeted.
the fuck." I was like, "Dude, I would beat the fuck out of you, bro."
Dude,
Like,
yeah, it's like
can you imagine any person? Well, I don't know how old you are. I'm 44. You're like 20 something, 30.
30.
Okay. I don't know if you feel this way, but like the iconic emblem of like Superman and Captain America, right?
Mm-hmm.
The opportunity for someone to approach you and be like, "Hey, you're gonna be this character because I think you embody this character in a large scale format that everyone in the world is gonna see. Like, I'm choosing you. Like, you're gonna be this." So there's a high possibility that after this, people will always approach you and be like, Captain America, like, or Superman.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, for God damn it, dude! Like the opportunity for them to
No,
approach you.
no, I agree.
Who
It's
would
a
be like,
privilege. I
like,
would be okay with my whole life. Like, look, my biggest dream, I have 3 kids. My biggest dream was to be a father, and I completed that dream, right?
nice.
It was like my entire ambition. Now I have to make money to be a good father,
Yeah,
Gotta put them to school and all that. But if I can make kids get out of reality and realize that there's hope and magic in the world for ever, for my entire life and possibly even after that, dude,
please
give me that
sign
job
me
and
up.
I'll do that job. Like we already do garbage, crappy jobs we hate forever, and you're telling me you don't want to be this symbol of hope, and I get it as like an actor's perspective.
No
Like
kids.
Brendan Fraser could have played Superman, and he's like, I didn't want to be known as Superman. I didn't feel like I was that guy. Totally understood. Christopher Reeve even felt that way after Superman 2. He didn't want to come back for 3 and 4, and he wanted to play more roles. But then Christopher Reeve, the difference with him, he kind of started like realizing that his face is attached to it, even after him being in a wheelchair,
Yep.
that he really embraced it. And he's like, yeah, I'm not perfect like the Superman character, but I will do, my heart is the same as his, where he wants to be good. He wants to help
Start to
people.
realize that character is way
Yeah.
bigger than you and everything you thought you were.
Yeah.
And I respected Chris Evans in an interview a long time ago before Captain America 1, and he said that he was scared of the role because
Yeah.
he said that he was scared of it because he didn't know if he was gonna do it justice enough.
Hmm.
Like he was scared that he was gonna mess up. But like to
Oh,
hear him later on be like, "Oh, I want to step away. Like I don't want to just be a one trick pony and be known as this." And I was like, "Bro, it's nobody looks at you like, oh, bro, you're only doing Captain America like the best way he's ever been. Oh man, dude, that's all you can do as an actor. Like it's that's like Robert Downey Jr. Like that's why I like Robert Downey Jr. because he does so much with the Iron Man character out of costume, and he loves
mm.
what he does with that character.
Yeah. Like I like in terms of a person. Obviously, I don't know these guys. I don't like what Chris Evans says on the media with all his political rants, just like Mark
Yeah, that's like
Ruffalo.
80% of these
The
dudes.
those guys are psychos, and I'm pretty sure Robert Downey Jr. agrees with him, but he keeps to himself. I just think I think they did something. They feel like they did something so big that that was their chapter. That was the end. Like
Yeah.
Endgame sucked. It's a garbage movie. Hey, let's just be honest. It's the freaking one of the worst superhero movie team ups ever to exist.
Well, actually,
Um,
wait. It did, but what a chance to fulfill 10 years of a continuated movie and story that just kept going on and on and on and building and building and building for it to culminate to that many actors and that many people
it's an achievement.
congregated. Yeah, yeah, as a cinematic event, like
Yeah,
holy shit. Like holy shit.
yeah.
But like yeah, like
It's incredible. But the thing is, they didn't land the plane. Like the entire story is ridiculous. They made Robert Downey Jr. go back to being a douchebag like he was in the first movie. He also is the reason we don't have Black Widow because he refused to keep banging his wife to have the kid at the right time and just like
which
no,
now
we're
gave
bringing
us
back
Captain America with a baby.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
which
now
now
we're
gave
bringing
us
back
yeah, which is
dude,
weird as fuck.
it's all really dumb and I think that movie's been broken down to hell and back, but it's like he believes that like oh he doesn't want to come back as Iron Man, but here's the thing: they're not listening to the fans; they're listening to the media that claim to be fans, right? So like me and you, I don't doubt studio heads have heard conversations like me and you talking about like this is real comics and this is trash.
Yep.
They're trying to make course corrections. It's obvious they're trying to make course corrections, but they're still trying to have everything. They're trying to keep their politics and everything together. So Chrissy said like in one of her comments like do you think these studio heads talk about comics
Yeah,
the way
yeah, I
we
thought
are
that was a
talking
good
about?
question.
Yeah, they probably did in the past. Like Kevin Feige was a part of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Yep.
Kevin Feige has producer credit on 1, 2, and 3. Like these conversations used to happen. But studio heads getting involved, and some people that used to be comic book fans, kind of like the Punisher creator, they either sell out or they become so corporatized that that no longer is a part of them anymore.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
they're having conversations like what's gonna sell, what's gonna bring people butts and seats, what's gonna do this, and the thing is, they're trying to do all these focus groups, all these ways of cheating the system instead of just focusing on the story and putting that story out there.
Well, look at what they
No
did with
agenda, no
She-Hulk.
yeah.
You know, they tried to make
Yeah,
fun of it in
dude.
She-Hulk with the writers' room bullshit. Like
Yeah,
that was
and the writers room was in charge
of
of that
creating the
joke.
movie or the show or whatever it
No,
was.
no,
Like
the writers
I
room
thought that
was
was
in charge of
ridiculous,
those
man.
jokes too. Like
Yeah,
they weren't letting the directors do anything.
because like that was how many episodes was it? It was like 8 episodes, and the entire
Yeah,
show
like
sucked. Like the entire show, like from beginning to end, was fucking trash. I think the only thing that was cool was the 15-second fight scene with Daredevil and her in the parking garage without words.
yeah,
Like
like
that was it. Like that was
I was telling a friend of mine like, man, they casted such an ugly She-Hulk actress that the only person that would do her is a blind guy that wants to stick
Oh
around.
my god, that's hard. That's what is it? Tatiana something. I forgot her name. But dude,
Insufferable.
I was telling a friend, I was telling Brian when we were talking about it. Like they fucking shit all over Titania. Like
Dude, yeah, what
Titania
the
as a
freak was that?
character is so cool, even though she's like a fucking B team character in like Spider-Man and everybody's shit. Like she's just a reusable villain when someone needs
Dude,
to fucking rob a Stripes or a Circle K or
the
whatever.
8 hours of She-Hulk was just like a really
Fuck, dude.
crappy hip-hop music video on MTV. That's what
Yeah,
the
dude, it
entire
was so
show was.
bad.
But like, yeah, man, and here's also the thing, like Robert Downey Jr., I'm okay with the recast of Iron Man. Like
They
like
have to.
we don't have to erase or start over or just bring an actor from Infinity War and then do more movies. No, we could have a different like TV show, live action TV show of Iron Man. That's fine. You know, like
Yeah, I mean,
we
that's
could
fine. But
like
it's like I mean, I'll ask. It's like, but what else is there to tell with the Iron Man character unless you're gonna do an Avengers film or something else? Like,
yeah,
there's not
like
anything else. I mean, the Mandarin, he had a fucking whiplash. The only thing we didn't get was what's the other guy's name? The Crimson Dynamo.
mhm.
Like, it's the only character we really
Well,
haven't
well,
got.
here's the thing. It's like here's the problem with adapting comics is that we think, and it's a fine line. We think that like because we've read these comics, this is the only stories that can ever be told ever, which has some truth to it. But we also need to realize that there's gaps in all these stories that, hey, this character is this way, and we could tell a story of him going through this particular thing that's never been told before, but also keep all the characters and add new characters and add new villains, add new situations, and
But like,
expand on this character, you know?
I don't think there's like a necessity to need to recast anybody. I think the way they handled Iron Man in the Spider-Man movie,
Mm.
where he would just like casually come in and be like, "Yo, stop being a bitch" or whatever, and then take off, like,
Yeah,
or show up. Those are so easy for actors for them to make a fucking couple mil or whatever the
No,
fuck.
no, it's I'm
You don't
talking
need to
about like
recast him
stories,
for it. Like, fuck, dude. I mean,
we
but I feel like the human timeline cannot wait what Hollywood wants to do with these characters. And there's too many characters that Marvel can just fucking for 100 years, bro. Like if you do the timeline, like I think I did mine once, life would be close to ending for me in a regular normal age range to
Mhm.
2040 something, right? 2045,
Yeah.
2048. Roughly, there's no way human beings can live that long. So it's 2026. I got like 20 years left. And I mean, it took 10 years for them just to tell
Damn.
me the fucking Infinity War story. You know what I mean? So, like, the concept of me waiting for like an X-Men film and then a Days of Future Past film and a fucking all of these weird crisis that they now need to tell with the X-Men and then give us a definitive AVX or a definitive Wanda fucks over the mutants and no more mutants and or what was that one timeline with where they just what was it 160 days or the fucking the sad days of the X-Men and the X Krakoa and like there's so many stories they could tell that are going to
No,
take
yeah,
another
like
10 years of my life.
we might not get the stories that we want particularly, but we still might get good stories. And it's like they don't really have an excuse, dude. Disney became a monopoly. They have
Yeah,
rights to Spider-Man. Obviously, Sony still controls it. Universal and they allow Hulk to be a part of it. They have Fox now, so
yeah,
they have
they have
like there
everything almost.
was. If you look at the statistics, Fox is making half the amount of movies that they were making before the acquisition from Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about creating a plan. Okay, here's the plan and delegating. Like there was a bunch of, I think he was the first director of WandaVision. She was pissed because she couldn't direct her own action scenes. Like there was already a formula that Kevin Feige and Disney and Marvel came
Told
up
them they
with
had to follow.
to not mess with anymore. So that way they could tell whatever story, like they just hired directors to be like their scapegoat. If it does bad, it's because of this director. Like,
It's
how
because
many
of this
directors
dude.
have zero credit, no business handling these properties, and they're giving these jobs?
Yeah.
Like, you could be some Joe Schmo off the street and be like, I want to be the director. Okay, what have you done? Nothing. You're perfect. Like,
Well, that
direct
actually
this. Yeah.
correlates really good to the situation that's going on with the Brave and the Bold, right? Did you hear about this?
I've heard some things, but go ahead and let the people
So
know.
the fucking chick, I'm gonna bring up some of her stuff, right? Uh, Bold.
By the way, I agree with I think it's Chrissy. Like, I also don't see as Iron Man and Captain America as the definitive characters.
What? Who would you see then?
No, like I don't see anybody like any actor as like this is the definitive actor to play this role and nobody else can play that role. Like, have you know who Jocko is?
Yeah, yeah,
Jocko Willink?
the military guy that does podcasting and
Yeah, and
fitness and all that
jujitsu
stuff.
and all that.
Yeah,
Look at
speaker.
his photos when he joined the Navy SEALs. That guy looks like Captain America. Have you seen his
Oh
like
yeah,
when he
yeah,
had the
yeah,
cloth
yeah.
hair?
I
Yeah.
know exactly what you're
That's
talking about. Yeah,
Captain
the
America, bro.
format, the look is
Yeah, yeah.
like Chris Evans doesn't look like a fucking battle fucking driven soldier or anything like
And he
that.
he also doesn't, as much as I love the Captain America First Avenger movie and his trilogy, he doesn't portray well like the military-esque, you know, persona. He's kind of he portrays well like the innocent guy that always wants to do good, but
Yeah.
it doesn't transition to him being the military captain.
Well,
Like, I am like we got to go do this. Like,
that was U.S. Agent.
yeah.
Yeah, U.S. Agent is supposed to portray that. Like Captain is supposed to be like
Well, Captain America's supposed to be like that, like
supposed to be
the
the
whole
Superman of
Avengers
our
Assemble
universe.
line. Yeah.
Yeah, but Superman, you look at Superman, he doesn't come off like a fucking the injustice version of himself. He doesn't come off as
Well,
Homelander. He doesn't come
no,
off
but
as
like
fucking
no,
I'm
but
a
I'm talking about
Hyperion
like
guy, dude. We always talk
when
about this shit.
well, no, when Captain America becomes Captain America and he's leading troops and stuff, where he's like, no, we're doing this because he's being trained to be a leader.
Mhm.
He's not acting as a leader. I like he's more like acting like he's giving suggestions like, should we go and infiltrate this bunker? Should we go and do this? Like, he's more acting that way, like passive aggressive almost, instead of being like a captain. No, we're doing this. Like, you you played the Ultimate Alliance video game
Mhm.
where he's like giving orders to everyone, like Spider-Man, go and like do this, and then he like tries to tell Wolverine, he's like, dude, I don't take orders from
I don't
you,
take orders from
and
you, yeah.
then
But then you
just
have the
goes
whole
and
comic book
yeah.
series where Wolverine and Captain America, he realizes Wolverine has a bunch of respect for Wolverine
Oh no, yeah, like I love the storyline of
between
like
him and Cap.
yeah, Wolverine and Cap work together, and they're the ones that saved Magneto from one of the
Concentration camps.
concentration camps, and then like when like Shield, like Nick Fury is the first person he contacts when he finds Captain is Wolverine,
Mhm.
and shows up at the mansion and is like, hey, we got to talk about a buddy of yours, and
Mhm.
then he goes and gives like a speech, and he's like, we're gonna help you out, brother, whatever. And like it's
Yep.
nice, but
And he's one of the only other
but I'm
characters.
just talking about like Chris Evans portraying a leader as
Yeah,
Captain
yeah, yeah.
America. He doesn't do it super well.
But I think he does it well later in the other films. Like he steps into the role better. I would
I think
say
he does when it
Civil
comes to
War, right? No,
person like
Winter Soldier.
well, I think he does when it becomes like personal, like one-on-one, but like
Mhm.
giving orders and being stoic when he needs to be stoic, he doesn't really portray that.
But
Like he does a good job. He does a phenomenal
yeah,
job. I'm not gonna take anything away from him,
yeah,
but I'm talking about to make him definitive. It's like you don't feel that where it's like, okay, there's a mode where Captain America is being nice, is being
stoic and right.
personable, he's being flirtatious, and he's also being stoic because he knows what's necessary. Like, he holds his principles, but he doesn't hold his arguments well to formulate his principles. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I would say the only part that I've ever seen him be that way more was from after the Avengers movie onward is when he kind of comes up to being this like more leader role, right? In the Avengers movie, he takes role very well, like the leadership role.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and it goes all the way to Infinity War, because Infinity War he does really good when it's him in the small like the Dark Avengers or the Secret Avengers, that he's running the group, and
Mm-hmm.
then he loses everybody. Thanos wins, and then it fucking just destroys his whole outlook in life. Because again, Captain America, a normal dude that just got badass steroids, has to fight this intergalactic cosmic god.
Yeah.
No other human character really has to deal with a Thanos other than Black Widow and Hawkeye, but Hawkeye just runs really good and shoots arrows. And
Black Widow and
Black
Hawkeye
Widow just got
the
shit on,
characters
dude.
he chose.
But you know what I mean? Like, none of the other characters really have to deal with it. Look at Sam Wilson, even talking about that. Like, Captain America was fighting this fucking giant villain and the evasion and all this other stuff. And Sam Wilson just fights Ant-Man and a bunch of racist people. Like,
Are you talking about like the characters that are at Civil War?
no, I'm just talking about like the way they handle the character once they put him in certain positions. Like Captain America, again, he had a lot of trauma after Infinity War to Endgame, and I think that's what dynamically changed his character from the leadership role after
here's
the Avengers lineup.
here's why I don't really buy that is because he went through World War II, and I would say that was a way more traumatic event than
Then seen a bunch of
the
people
snap.
get dusted half the universe.
Yeah,
I
because
wouldn't say
he was connected not only to all those people,
Yeah.
but people back home were dying. Like the snap was a pretty much one-time event.
Schmanoop.
It was like really quick, So they lost people, they screwed up and it sucks. But I'm talking about like he went through years of wartime of seeing things way worse than people turning to dust. Probably seeing like kids get killed. Like
Yeah.
like war is not.
It was more
pretty
of
thing,
a humanistic personal role, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then it was romanticized in the beginning of his life. Like he literally romanticized the idea of being a soldier because everybody else was doing it, and he was
But remember his
insignificant
reasoning to
man.
do it. It wasn't because he thought it was romantic. It's just he thought that like if he could do some good, that just
No,
because of who he is.
I don't mean romantic. It's
Yeah.
romanticized. Like he idolized that ideal of becoming a soldier because that's what every male was doing at the time. Everybody that was strong and everything he couldn't be, and he didn't want to be ostracized or outcasted.
I would
So-
say he wasn't. I'd say he understood very well who he was, but that wasn't stopping him from doing the right thing.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
he did not see anybody as like, man, I wish I could be this guy. He's like, no, this is who I am. And just because I have these setbacks, like people are losing their lives that have way better than me and way worse than me. Why should I be any different? Why?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna sit here while I know I have the ability to do some good in the world while
Mhm.
everybody else goes and does stuff, and I'm just gonna
And need to be pushed back, and I want to be out there.
Yeah, so I'm going to go and do the right thing because he truly believed that he should be out there, that it
Mhm.
was wrong for him to stay. So I don't think he ever like aspired to be one of the guys, or like he understood himself very well.
Mhm.
Like he lived with himself, he wasn't, and a part of his personality was just like, hey, yo, take it on the chin and move on and go forward, but don't dwell on these things. That's why like it made sense for him to get over Peggy when what was it, Winter Soldier, like at her funeral.
Mhm.
And then it was really stupid that Endgame he went back to Peggy after he already got over her and made out with her, what is it, great granddaughter?
Niece, dude.
Niece, yeah.
Niece, bro. Not even that far down the tree. Like he didn't even let the leaves fucking fall off.
Yeah, he's that type of uncle, huh?
Yeah, he's like, I got you, girl. I was even telling the fucking boys the other day. I was like, can you imagine if the baby was the girl? Like that's what he fucking named her.
Yeah.
He named her, and that's the daughter. And he ends up making out with his own fucking daughter later.
Dude, don't even say that, dude. This is the last show we're ever gonna do, by the way.
It's so sad. And she's a villain right now because she's the fucking broker. You remember that
Like,
shit?
I don't want to remember that.
I don't want to remember. That's the thing. I don't remember that shit. But yeah, no. He did have remorse because later on they do the Bucky scene where he's helping him with the key outside of his house, and he's kind of giving him like this kind of like cold shoulder attitude about Bucky's already got his uniform. He's going off in the military. And you know, Steve Rogers is like, no, 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 Buck, I'm really happy for you. But like there is
Yeah,
animosity, there's jealousy there. Like
yeah, but
there is,
jealousy
but it's
doesn't
not the
mean
it's,
that
I
you
know
want to
it's
be
not the
that
same though.
guy. It's just like I'm jealous that you already are doing what
What
I
I want to
believe I
do.
should be doing.
Yeah.
I believe I should be sacrificing my life to move forward, you know.
Yeah, like
Um
but yeah, I think Cap's growth was very, very nice in the story. And again, you
no,
can't do
I
much with his
enjoyed it.
character. Like you can't do much with his character. And
I beg to
man,
differ because they used to say that about Superman, and they've done so much with
yeah,
Superman
they've done a
throughout the
lot with
years.
Superman. But yeah,
Like I'd say Captain America and Superman have the most similar parallels when it comes to DC and MCU.
yep,
It's just we haven't gotten good writers to expand Captain America.
yep.
He's always been like, okay, we have this solid story, got World War II, then we got Avengers, and then now we don't know what to do with the guy.
Yeah,
That's like
and
that's
that's the
what they
same shit
do.
that happened in the comic books.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I keep telling people like, even though it was new and it's during the weird part of Marvel and all new, all different, like the moment you made him a Hydra agent, like that was the Hail Mary, dude. Like that was like
Oh yeah.
the comic book writers don't know what else to do past this. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, yo, this has to be like the definitive. Like, what else do you do to Captain America except make it to where he was always a Hydra agent, secret agent, and then and you're like, fuck you, dude.
Dude.
Get out of here. And it did exactly what it needed to do, which was death of Superman. It was that moment where like it was on national fucking news. CNN,
Yeah.
MSNBC, Fox were like, yo guys, it happened. Captain America is a Hydra agent. And they were showing the fucking Hail Hydra picture. They had their own fucking opinions and it went crazy. And a bunch of people talked about it, which is what you and I were talking about earlier is good storytelling. Great
Hmm.
storytelling. What do you do with these characters after you've done it all? Like, what do you do?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they didn't do it all. They just
Hail
stopped
Mary.
doing one thing and threw a Hail Mary. It's
Throw
like,
a Hail
dude,
Mary.
we're not even at halftime and you're throwing Hail Marys. What are you doing, man?
Yep.
This
They're
is
taking big
insane.
risks.
Like, so it's not, you don't have to deconstruct the character. Like, one of the dumbest things they did was with Thor, right? Where they made him fat and he has to find himself. I'm like, dude, if you haven't found yourself after 1,500 years of life,
Yeah,
it's
this
time to
guy's not a
swallow the
fucking
barrel of a
30-year-old.
shotgun,
Yeah.
dude. Like,
He's
you gotta like end this. Like, there's no hope for you, man.
yeah.
So, like, and then make him fat. It's like he's also a god. I don't think his metabolism works that way, but whatever,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
Um,
apparently alcohol doesn't work on him, but fucking beef does or whatever. Twinkies and
Doritos.
beef jerky do, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like,
so Vince
yeah.
says sorry, but I have to ask. The Last Relic, what was your better Superman, Henry Cavill or David Cornsweet Superman? Oh man.
Okay, give me a little minute to rant about this. Okay,
Okay.
they both suck, right?
Oof. Oof.
Both suck. I love Henry Cavill, his look. The actor himself, he actually cares about Superman. He was under uh he was under Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder is a freaking retard. He only does things well when somebody
Else
is
right.
no, when somebody's like pulling him back. 300, Watchmen, solid movies.
Well, I just tell people Zack Snyder sucks at writing stories. Like
Yeah, yeah.
cinematography wise, he's good. He's got a visual eye
He
for
got a
stuff.
nice visual, but he's a moron. Like, dude, you made the Man of Steel movie look like a Batman movie. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
You know. Um, like color palette, David Cornsett did well, like the color of his suit, but he also, I think David Cornsweet probably could have been a really great Superman if the suit didn't look like he was wearing a motorcycle outfit with a cape.
Yeah.
Um, Also, if he wasn't crying about his feelings to Lois Lane every time he saw her, and they made it more of like an innocent movie and kept the story good and also good dialogue, but pretty much like it's a the David Corn said it's a good 0 out of 10 film, Superman. They did the colors right. Henry Cavill, Man of Steel. Here's the thing. one of the biggest comic book sins was like Jonathan dying the way he did.
Oh, and Man of
Where,
Steel, fucking
yeah,
dude,
like,
Jesus
oh,
Christ.
like you think Superman's gonna give up his whole future to save somebody. He's not gonna worry about his identity. Like
Yeah.
you even see in the animated series, like, hey, if I have to do this, I have to do this. Like I am Superman forever. And Superman is the mask. He is like his true identity is Clark Kent, right? Like that's the real Superman is Clark Kent. Just
Well, I
like
mean,
Batman's the real Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is the mask to Batman.
yeah.
You
Well,
know what I
even
mean?
even this concept of like the death of Jonathan Kent, right? Later on in the same universe, the same director and everybody says that he moves just as, if not as fast as the Flash.
Yeah,
And
so they wouldn't have
there's
seen him.
different parts that he can literally in the blink of an eye move like and no one would notice.
Yeah, like dude, okay. I'm just like if we start explaining how stupid, like we just need to, like I'm gonna be here for an hour
Yeah, you
just
and I are gonna
explaining
be
this.
good friends, bro.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about Man of Steel really bad, dude. Because I'm
Like
always surrounded by guys that are like, nah, dude, Man of Steel's the best Superman. I was like, bro,
no, Henry Cavill, his face, his voice,
his
his
look,
physique,
he just got the look, dude.
great Superman. Yeah, he's got the freaking look. He's got it down. He
He's
understands the
gonna be
character.
fucking Titus in Warhammer. The guy can do anything that looks
Dude,
like a fucking hero.
he was
He was the
Wolverine.
Witcher. He was the fucking Wolverine, and everyone was like, "Oh, we need him as a Wolverine."
Yeah,
I'm like,
so
dude, he can do anything.
yeah, so like Henry Cavill, um
It's got the
he
look.
look like remember he looked really good in the end of that garbage movie not Shazam, um
Black Adam.
Black Adam. I was gonna say Black Lightning. I'm like, that's not
Same
right.
shit. You can name
Yeah.
it whatever. No one cares, dude. No one
uh
remembers that movie.
Black Adam, right? Where like they changed the color a little bit, they gave him the little S on his hair, and you're like,
What's
oh,
even
hold up,
crazy is
that
that
looks nice.
it should have been Shazam too, because Black Adam should have been in Shazam.
Dude,
But we have to
dude,
say it
dude,
and
there's so many
acknowledge it
things.
as its own
There's so many
movie.
things that should have happened. That like if we keep talking about what should have, could have, would have, like we're gonna be here for like 10 hours, brother.
I
I'm
tell people this, watch. The
okay,
reason why
okay.
I thought Man of Steel was such a bad movie is
Mm,
because of how emotionally distraught and traumatized Henry Cavill's Superman was. That he, as Superman, the greatest superhero to ever walk the earth and be like to walk the line, bro. Like this guy's like the greatest, right?
mhm.
For in the first part of the film, for him to be, I guess, assaulted by a guy in a fucking diner with beer as living a dude that wouldn't really feel that water since he's like a billion times stronger than human beings, right? He wouldn't even feel the trickle on his body. It would just be like nothing. It shouldn't have even wet his hair if you think about it. It should not have wet his hair. Technically, it shouldn't have because that's not the way physics work. So,
Okay,
but he
okay.
got he
Wait.
got so angry, he ruined this guy's entire fucking career by putting his 18 wheeler through a bunch of fucking telephone poles.
Yeah,
And
that was
he
stupid.
ruined
Yeah.
that guy's life, dude. That guy has to pay for that truck. Like he has to pay for that truck. You're gonna tell me that
If
that's the
anything,
way
he
he
would have
acted.
taken out the door just to be like, all right, now you got to drive in the cold.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
You know
have
what I mean?
fun.
Like he would
Like,
not be like, let me stop this guy from eating and paying his fucking life, his bills and shit. Let me
yeah,
be
he would
so
look at him
fucking
like, man,
petty.
it's sad. Like, look, okay,
That was the shit
because
that ruined it for me. That was it right there. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is gonna suck, dude.
okay, first, Chrissy, you can. We're not telling you not to love the movie. We're talking about objective versus subjective. You could like garbage, and it's fine.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like, I like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I'm not saying it's
I
a
like
good movie,
Starship
dude.
Troopers, and it's not a good movie. It's fucking weird.
You take that back. You
I
stupid
love
bastard.
Starship Troopers, bro. That's my drinking movie. When I'm drunk, I quote that shit all day, dude.
Okay, but like for instance, I'm gonna say something sacrilege here. Christopher Reeve Superman, it ain't perfect.
Yeah,
It ain't
true.
perfect, man.
It's silly. Gets sillier.
Yeah, like well, to your point, he goes back to the diner and literally beats up a guy because he was disrespecting him and Lois.
Lois Lane, yeah, yeah.
You know, on Superman.
After he gets his powers
Yeah.
taken away, he gets his shit kicked in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Great idea,
And
bro.
then when he gets his powers back, he goes and like takes care of the dude, and it's like, yeah, that's not something he would do, you know,
No, fuck no.
like so let me try to stay in the pocket of that question. Okay,
It is a
Man of
great
Steel,
fucking movie.
like Man of Steel, freaking sucks. He, it's too dark. The lines suck. It's too easy for Lois Lane to figure out who he is. Like even when Superman finds the ship and he's lasering through to make a tunnel towards the ship, there's a line that the military personnel says to Lois Lane: "Do not freaking step out at night because even with all your gear, you're gonna freeze in a matter of minutes because you're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah. It's
freaking
like
die."
below
And
zero
then
shit,
she
right?
goes, and it's probably takes her a good 2 hours to climb all the way up
It's
there
far away, yeah.
to reach Superman. Like you should be dead, not even touching the mountain that you're supposed to climb.
And she just
Like,
had a coat on and a fucking beanie, right?
yeah, yeah, ridiculous. I think Amy Adams was one of the worst cast Lois Lanes to ever exist. Um,
Well, she was more like a what is it, like a MacGuffin than a
no,
character.
yeah, yeah, and like I somewhat enjoyed Zod and
Yeah.
the new take on Krypton,
The
right?
separation in classes and
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Like it seems
Codex or
like
whatever the
it
fuck
seems
that
like
means.
yeah, it seems like right before um there's a book. I forgot what it's called, but there's a book about a society where people are engineered by birth. Nobody has sex the regular way to have kids. Um,
It's
I
the dark city.
no, it's actually a very simple title. It's like it's a very regular title. I forgot the name of the book, but it's about this dude who he kind of there's like a place where they send like all these weird thinkers away, but
Mhm.
society, like there's no religion, like
Oh, that's
having
Equilibrium.
no
Do you remember
equilibrium is
that fucking
different.
movie with Christian Bale
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
guns and shit?
Yeah, I actually just watched that like 2 weeks ago.
You never seen it before?
No, I just watched it because I was like, I need to remember how goofy this
Oh, but
movie was.
Equilibrium was the
Yeah.
same thing. The society takes pills. They keep everybody
Yeah, yeah, but they still
simple-minded.
able to
Like
have
you kind of
sex
like
and stuff like
if you're a
that.
free thinker, you're a fucking no guy. Like, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know gun kung fu. You
Yeah,
could
so
fucking
all the
wanted
same
bullets or
concept.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah. All the same
I love
concept
that movie.
for
It was V for Vendetta
it's a
before
fun
V for
movie. Yeah.
Vendetta.
Yeah, and Sean Bean is in it, so how is it not
Yeah,
a
yeah,
good
you
movie,
can't beat it.
Yeah, and so here's the problem. The Man of Steel, like, okay, Zod is trying to convince Superman to join him, and then he gives him a nightmare of skulls and the death of everything he loves. Not really a way to convince a dude to join
Yeah,
your cause, right?
yeah.
Um, he also has all the military training plus the powers of Superman. That's always been, even in the comics, a real big problem for me, where it's like I would have liked to see something like, Batman create like handcuffs out of kryptonite where it just dilutes his powers, doesn't weaken him, so that he's a regular human, and then Batman trains him in fighting because he knows Zod is coming, so that he can like combat Zod,
You
stuff
can't
like
do
that.
that, bro. Can't
Yeah,
do that.
I know you have to use your
Yeah,
brain
you
too
can't
much.
have
Yeah,
the
I know it's
ultimate
crazy.
character because you're just gonna fucking ruin everything.
No, you're not. It's like you're just arming yourself against them, and it's like jujitsu. Like it's still gonna be a blue belt against a purple belt. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But if you teach
Yeah,
fucking if you teach Superman like jujitsu and fucking kickboxing or something, bro, who's gonna fuck him up? No one. Because
Batman,
all the other guys just
Batman,
know
dude, Batman.
Batman cannot. I hate
Eh,
Batman's
I,
bullshit too, bro. Like,
I'm not saying that he's going to teach him all the way to black belt status, but it's like, okay, you need to hold your own against somebody who's military trained with your same powers, dude. This is
yeah,
not. You can't just powerhouse everything.
yeah,
But anyways, Man of Steel. Obviously, it's dark and gloomy. It's everything is just too convenient. It's a really, really bad movie. David Cornsweet's movie, he doesn't give you time to breathe. It's so stupid. Everything like there's lines thrown at the audience that doesn't need to be in the film. They say the same thing like 5 times over. He's crying
it
about his
starts with like
feelings.
fucking 3 minutes of exposition.
Yeah, 3 minutes of exposition, and then there's exposition every other 5 minutes. It's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah, it's too much,
Um,
man.
like the engineer, like there's terrible actors in it. Like David Cornsweet is all about his feelings all the time. Like you can't tell me Superman is going to cry about a dog and then see like this alien space sperm being taken down by the Justice Gang, and then he's not gonna go do anything about it because he's gonna be like, "Hey, even though I believe they got it, I want to make sure that they actually got it. So I'm gonna go help because also it makes sense to go help because last time they trashed the city and blew up, this other creature that I asked them, no, we could go study it, we could tame it, and then they're like, no, we're going to explode his insides.
Yeah, we're gonna
And
kill it.
you're also against that, and you're not gonna go help the space sperm that's just like hanging out in the city right outside your window. You're gonna cry to Lois, and then Lois can't have the freaking forethought to be like, maybe now's not the best time to talk about breaking up because
Yeah,
also we've only dated. And then you're telling me that they've been around Superman for 3 years, and also Clark Kent is using Superman to push his career,
and
and
his
they've
political
never even
agenda.
thought about an interview
Well, and
before.
his own political agenda. Because remember, he
Yeah,
goes to that political president guy, and he's like, "Yo, if
yeah,
you
yeah,
don't do this that I tell you, like," and then he throws him a cactus. Like,
dude.
when have we ever seen
Him be
like
petty and
a fucking petty Superman that's like torturing people with pain to get his pain across or his point across?
yeah,
He'll
like
dictate, like he'll democratically or whatever, like talk to someone, but he's not gonna be like, if you don't do this, and then shoves a pencil in the guy's asshole. Like he's not gonna do that. You know what I mean?
dude.
Like you get me
No,
right.
no, it's like I totally get it. I'm trying to answer the question here because I need to point these things out.
Yeah, yeah,
Like he also he's raised by Jonathan and Martha Kent, right?
yeah,
But the first scene we see of Jonathan. By the way, they stole the show in
yeah. They
my
were amazing.
opinion.
The
Um,
bench scene when he's sitting
but
down talking to his dad, like
yeah, yeah,
good.
great scene, but it's also stupid at the same time.
Yeah,
And I'll point out why. Like the first time we see him talk to his parents, he's like in front of the paper and he's called Smallville for a reason. He's the small town guy. He's gonna stop everything he's doing to talk to his mom and dad. And then he's just like partying with Jimmy, kicking shoes, and then just being like, yeah, yeah, whatever, mom. Like a freaking rebellious 13-year-old would talk to his parents. Like,
the punk
you know,
music guy or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. And then when we when we see him in the Fortress of Solitude, all he's listening to is his parents from Krypton, which is like one line, and that's who he like sees as like the perfect example of like these are the people who love me. And it's only after he finds out that they're flawed and that he doesn't even know 100% that that recording is exactly what they wanted. Like him, like we know as an audience, he still doesn't know. He's not gonna believe Lex. He's not gonna believe Mr. Terrific. He's going to give like the biggest benefit of the doubt. It's like because the Fortress of Solitude is also not fixed. I'm not talking to my parents. I'm not talking to
Robots.
Jor-El.
Mm.
I'm talking to robots and half garbage recording that apparently is needed for me. And they're saying something that I don't agree with. Does that make them bad people? Whatever. And then he has a whole identity crisis. Like, I don't know who I am. Like, no, you know who you are. Just because you found out your parents, people that you worship, are flawed human like
Yeah.
creatures that go against what you currently believe doesn't make them completely evil. It's what they taught, and it doesn't change who you are. You should still be happy trying to save other people, being Superman. You shouldn't have an identity crisis. That's insane. And like, who raised you? They're right there. How do you have an identity crisis with people who didn't raise you, man? I get it's your parents and they're the ones that are the aliens, but
I
like
always thought it was at that
it was
moment too.
insane.
I always thought it was so crazy, like how fast, like the community that had seen him for like the last 5 years do everything. Oh, I think she meant harem. The harem thing in the video.
But I think you're comparing apples to oranges. How? They're both Superman.
Yeah. But he's just talking about the production quality of the films, like how they handled them both, like Zack Snyder's version to James Gunn's version. But
Yeah.
like I thought it was so crazy. Like they know who Superman is as a person and what he's done in the society. Lex Luthor, who's probably the most hated person in their community, releases this video of his parents talking about, take over the fucking planet,
Have a
bang
harem.
chicks, yeah, bang chicks, fuck bitches, get money, son, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But like
Be a frat bro.
he literally just on the whim in one day with his power set proves that he
Yeah.
could have done that the first year, and we're like fucking. How many years was it that they'd known Superman? Like 12, 7, or they get in the expo that
No, no,
Superman had been
it's only
around.
been 3 years.
Well, 3 years is more than enough because he could have fucking
Yeah, yeah.
conquered the world in 10 months, dude. Like not even.
10 months a
Yeah, you know what
day.
I mean. Like there's no way these people are like, oh, Superman, you're such an asshole, bro. I mean, you've only saved us what like 20,000 times, and you know you took a fucking what was that fucking meal that guy fed him one time? Like, why didn't he just
A
take over the
kebab or
fucking
something?
planet? Yeah,
Halal?
yeah. Why did he just take over the fucking planet when he got there? Why wait for Lex Luthor to tell you he's an asshole? Like what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like man, that shit was like
No, no, and it's
so
like
many
this,
things, bro.
it's very telling what the studio and James Gunn believe we the fans are like. They believe we're idiots
Oh God,
just based off that movie. Where it's like, oh, the entire world just is against Superman off one little video, like immediately, and then they're against Lex Luthor off one little video immediately. Like nobody's asking questions. Nobody is like, and they were so explicit. Like they had James Gunn's brother say like at least liberals and conservatives can both agree that Lex is an a-hole, and it's like, why'd you have to say conservative and liberals? He could have just said at least everybody in the world can agree that this guy's an a-hole.
Yeah,
That brings people together. You're dividing again because you're in your own world that you can't separate. I'm writing a Superman story. I'm not going to bring in my own ideas of how I think the world should be here. I'm writing Superman. Because it's also like, yeah, you got to bring in your own experiences, but even with like the Lois Lane stories, like this is a seasoned reporter who knows that Clark is Superman, knows the things that he has to go through. She has her own issues. She's acting like a teenager, like, oh, I knew this wasn't gonna work. It's been 3 months,
yeah.
and you barely see each other apparently. And also, we never even understand, where does Clark live actually? Does he live with her? Like he doesn't have a house.
Yeah, he flies, dude. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, dude,
He lives in the fucking Fortress of Solitude. They have to mail his fucking mail there.
Yeah, yeah. How does he get
Bro,
into
oh, dude. And not only that, like, I was so mad at the first, like, 5 minutes of the fucking movie where, like, exposition, a beaten Superman lands on the ground, calls his goofy Scooby Doo dog to come and save him and do a fucking skit.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this fucking chick with a jetpack shows up and she's like, you're right. All that time that we were talking about it, all the years of planning, he has a fortress. And they're like, all right, cool. Like, go get the address and then we'll go back.
Like, why do we
And
need
I'm
that
like,
line, dude?
in my mind, I was like, what? Like, did I miss a part of the movie? Like, when did they start talking about the fortress? Like, why is the fortress in the ground? Like, I'm asking questions as to how how did the fucking dog bark in the fortress open? Like, what the fuck is going on? And Lex Luthor's like, we got him, bro. We found his house. Let's fuck him up. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on.
I remember like the Man of Steel movie, how stupid it was when he was like, it's a funny line, but they didn't think it through when he's like, I know you're trying to figure out where I hang my cape. He's like, I need to know if you're on the side of America. He's like, I grew up in Kansas. That's as American as it gets. It's like, dude, you just narrowed down
The exact state you live in. They're gonna find your ass, boy.
Yeah, do you know how
they're gonna
many
find that
satellites they
one
got?
kid that
Like,
saved that school bus by himself?
Yeah, are you kidding me, dude? Are you retarded? Like, you're
Yeah.
freaking 30 years old. Like, and you can't figure that out?
No, but then it all makes sense, dude, because that guy was the Martian Manhunter. Zack Snyder fucking caught that line in the extra of the 4-hour fucking Justice League movie. He just fixed all his bullshit. God,
No, and that's
fucking
like
Zack Snyder, dude.
there's
You know
like
what
things
made me mad about Zack Snyder?
that he's an idiot.
Yeah, well, there was that, right? Like that
Yeah.
was given. The apocalypse, the future world. I was a ragtag
about it?
team of the bed shitter, the black guy that called racism on the guy who owns DC, the guy who terrorized all of Hawaii, and fucking Jared Leto, who apparently has a cult. Like it was just
Yeah.
the ragtag team of people that survived the apocalypse, and I was like,
how did you guys survive?
yeah, what the fuck? Like, how did these characters survive when the actual actors are all 100% pieces of huge shit, like huge pieces of shit in real life?
And
like,
it's also like, by the way, how did Batman not like get the team to stick together? Like, what the freak is going on?
It just
Didn't
took
have
one
contingency.
fucking Superman visit to fucking kill them all. Dude. I
Dude,
was
we
like, how
also
does
had
he
an
not?
entire movie where he had to treat him as a threat and had to come up with contingency plans for the whole thing. Also a garbage movie. And then you're just saying that like he couldn't plan for an apocalypse.
Did you ever get to hear? And I fucking talk about this all the time because like I would kick fucking Zack Snyder in the nuts 14 times for this. Did you ever hear like why Superman went bad and why fucking they were like it wasn't an injustice story, even though it
Yeah,
was meant to
it
be
was
injustice.
like Lois Lane cheated on Superman with Bruce and then had their kid. And then like something, dude, I was listening to that and I'm like, there's no like somebody, this is a troll.
This got to be
There's
a
no
fucking
way,
joke, Reddit joke, dude.
dude. When I saw him confirming it, I was like,
I hate
I
this
am
dude.
so glad we got nothing more out of this
Yeah, yeah,
idiot.
yeah. I was like in
Like,
my mind, I was like, I hate this dude, bro. Zack Snyder can
no, like,
fucking
and he says
choke
like,
on a
oh,
bag of
I'm
dicks,
pulling
dude.
from the Dark Knight comics. I'm like, if you watch the movies, he knows nothing about the Dark Knight comics.
Yeah, dude. I was like, he doesn't read
Nothing.
comics. Motherfucker
And
can't read.
And I
He
don't
can't
want
even
those comics
write.
adapted. I don't want the Dark Knight comics adapted. They
We,
were a nice little one-off, but I don't want like Bruce failing. I love Batman Beyond. I also don't want an adaptation because I don't want to see a Gotham where Batman lost.
yeah, of course.
Like I don't want that stuff, man.
I
And
mean,
it's
we
like,
all saw that fucking weird movie he was making for Netflix. I forgot the name of it. So, what was the one
what's
that Zack Snyder did?
he did Rebel Moon, which
Rebel
is
Moon.
like
Yeah, we
his
saw that
like
shit, right? That's him
no no
writing. That's him writing.
that was him trying to do Star Wars.
Yeah,
So he think about it this way: Kathleen Kennedy turned that project down.
yeah, which is fucking yeah.
And they are
And
aligned in their retarded ideologies. And she was like, "Nah, this
no,
is
that's way
too
out of
crazy.
pocket, bro.
You know, like
No, but that's because
vagina spaceships. We're gonna do that. That's insane."
all he did was steal Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai as
Yeah,
the characters that are in the village getting people together and all that shit, and was just like, yo, it'd be cool if we had Nazis and spaceships, dude, like literal, like suited up in Nazi outfits and like
yeah, and made
literally
women
like
like
the
stronger than
fucking
men for
Third
no damn
Reich, dude.
reason.
Like it was just literally dudes dressed in like literal like the fucking what was the
Like,
Gestapo gray Nazi
yeah,
uniforms. They weren't even space uniform. They
dude,
could have made it look like space, dude. Like,
dude.
you know what I mean?
I explained this to a friend of mine of why the movies are bad. Today's day and age, it's not just about ideology. People that are in charge of making the movies, they're making it for their friends. They're not making it for the fans. They're not making it for the
Audience.
audience, for the money. They're trying to get glazed up by their friends. Like, hey, we agree on this. Look what I did. Dude, that's awesome. Now look what I did. Dude, that's awesome. That's what they're doing. They're not making this to be like, hey, I want like I love this and I want the fans to see my work, all that stuff. Like just to finish off the James Gunn and
Hmm.
Zack Snyder, like both Superman suck. I did a video, I think it's like 4 or 5 minutes long, on why people will gravitate towards David Cornsweet Superman because it deals with the TikTok brain. He didn't let you breathe. When you think about it, it's a really garbage movie. Man of Steel, the reason why people would prefer David Cornsweet's movie over Man of Steel, like psychologically, is because fast and stupid is better than boring and stupid.
True.
You know, like you could deal with something that's boring and still enjoy it because like there's a lot of intellectual stuff and then you just gravitate towards that kind of thing. It's great. But when it's stupid and it's also boring and things are taking a long time for things to happen and they're happening in a dumb way, then you're like, it's a movie where you're gonna fall asleep. There's no way for you to fall asleep in James Gunn's movie because it's scene. Like, how do YouTubers edit their videos? Every few
Cut,
seconds, they have
cut,
to do
cut.
some sort of cut to keep your attention so you don't click away. And that's how James Gunn formulated his entire movie. You know, something's happening every second. Doesn't matter what the emotion is. The only time we actually got to sit around a little bit was with Jonathan and Martha Kent, and it was the best scene because we actually got to feel their emotion, even with some of the stupid stuff that Superman was going through. We still got to feel it out, you know. And I don't know what they're gonna like. It sucks. And if James Gunn, regardless of the acquisition with Netflix and Warner Brothers, he's still in charge of this stuff. And I don't know, and he wants to be so into it, he's gonna screw up Brave and the Bold. He's
Oh, dude, 100%.
he's talking to Tom King. Tom King is one of the worst freaking writers I've ever seen. He's an idiot. Okay?
Well, I mean, even talking about it, the girl that they just brought in, you know who she is? The one
No.
that's gonna write the script for it is
I
this
heard
lady.
about it.
It's her name
Is
is
sure.
Christina Hodson.
I already
Uh,
hate
she's the one that wrote Birds of Prey,
Oh,
The Flash, the fucking yeah, The Flash, dude.
so like the
Uh,
worst movies that nobody even remembers of
Bumblebee.
superhero and Bumblebee. Bumblebee is
It's
overhyped. They just have the good 10 minutes of like the art looking like
yeah,
original Transformers, but the entire movie is freaking stupid.
but yeah, she wrote the screenplay for The Flash. She was a writer in Birds of Prey and the fabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Bumblebee, Unforgettable, Shut In, and
Like, why are they hiring this chick? Like, this is failing upwards. All these
yeah,
people are failing upwards. And this is also the guy in charge of Batman, James Gunn. He's the guy that said that Batman is too boring and all his stories have been told. What the freak are you talking about? You know how extensive his comics are?
yeah.
Even the garbage New 52 runs, Superman was one of the worst ones. That even was pretty decent in the Batman New 52 was pretty decent.
Is that
Just the
the
rest of New
fucking bunny
52 was
rabbit?
garbage.
The
Huh?
Gordon, Commissioner Gordon with the bunny rabbit suit. Remember he had the mech. Remember?
Man, I don't remember that.
Remember? I'll bring up a picture, but yeah, I feel like everybody has to remember this. Mech. So, oh yeah, let me make sure I put New 52. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if I put in New 52, it'll come up. Yeah, it was the battle suit, which was this one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this, but
Uh, I remember it now.
that one.
Yep.
So this was
Yeah.
a suit that Commissioner Gordon gets, and
Yeah. I like the suit he takes to Apocalypse.
oh.
But yeah,
Look, do you remember that was a cool Superman by the guy who made Kick-Ass? He does his
Yeah.
fucking Final Flash fucking power that Superman's just there, just like, hey, fuck it, let's. Superman doesn't have enough.
The
Let's give
Dragon
him a
Ball
little
Z
bit more.
TN
Yeah,
solar
Final
flare.
Flash and fucking blinds people, and then he
Yeah.
loses his power, and he's like, he's dressed as like fucking Superboy with a t-shirt, and he takes his cape and wraps it around his hands, and
Yeah.
just fucking goes to church on people and beats the fuck out of. I liked it. I thought it was cool to see like
I thought it was like okay.
depowered a little bit.
I don't know. I was just kind of like, all right, whatever. Like, let me get through these pages.
Yeah, please stop. Yeah,
Yeah.
please. I just, god dang it, god dang it.
I don't think I
Yeah,
even read it all the way through when it got to that part. I'm like, when does this end? Okay.
Just give it to, just have him powered back, please. Like,
Yeah.
he has to fight Mongol or someone at least, dude. Because I like the one that they did, like the War Planet when he's on the Coliseum with
Yeah.
Mongol, right? Mongol, right? That's the villain.
Mhm.
The big guy that's like dark side. And he has to be like a gladiator.
Yeah.
He's got the badass armor with the Superman chest like logo on it. Like,
Yeah.
I like that fucking version, dude. Like, I like the war shit, which is like the Wonder Woman kind of like tribalisms of the characters. But yeah,
Yeah.
they brought this chicken for the Batman Birds of Prey film, or
Brave and the Bold.
I'm Brave the Brave.
Brave and the Gay. That's what it's
Yeah.
gonna be, dude.
It's gonna be just called Batman. You're so brave.
You're
And
so
gonna be out
brave.
there doing the him stuff, and yeah, it's gonna be great.
Oh man. Like I have no hope for James Gunn's DC at all.
Yeah, he hasn't really given us a good idea of what he's trying
No,
to
like, dude, you're so stupid. You're gonna do Swamp Thing and then Supergirl after your Superman movie, which also tanked, by the way. In the box office, it didn't even make as much as Man of Steel. Like, that freaking sucks. And like you're not going with the big three right off the bat, so that we can have an understanding of what your vision is for the DCEU. And we're gonna get this like great. Lobo looks awesome. I want to see Lobo. I've always wanted to see Lobo. Do I want to see an entire Lobo movie? And it's telling if the only thing I'm excited for the Supergirl movie is to see Lobo. Like, I don't even care about the main character, man.
Yeah,
Like the only reason I went to watch Black Adam, I knew it was gonna be garbage, um, was because I heard James Bond was Doctor
Spectre.
Fate.
Or
Yeah.
go there. Yeah, Doctor Fate.
Yeah, and then we're gonna get Henry Cavill at the end. It's the only reason I watched it, and I waited till it was on HBO Max.
Yep. And then they fucking killed him.
Yeah.
Then they
And
were like,
also because remember Henry Cavill a few days after announced, yes, we are back. He like did this whole Instagram post. And then they Warner Brothers waited for his birthday and fired Henry Cavill on his birthday. Yeah, you're not Superman. F you. And I
yeah,
was like, what the
it's
freak, dude?
it's weird. The whole situation's weird. Not a big fan of James Gunn, but I mean, we just gotta wait to see what he does. It's just so ridiculous, dude. So
Yeah.
fucking ridiculous. But yeah. Well, we got a good talk set, man. It's gonna be 5. It's gonna be 2 hours in. I feel like we talked about. We didn't even really talk about all the stuff that we were gonna even talk about. So that
We
was
could keep I'm okay keep going if it's up to you, man. It's your show. Like
no. I usually do about 2 hours. I don't want it to go too late. I know it's 11 o'clock for you about right now, right?
yeah, but I'm chilling. Dude, I've gone
Yeah,
10
you're like I
hours.
do fucking 8 hour episodes. It's crispy.
Yeah,
Like
I do. I go
you're
crazy.
crazy, dude. You're crazy. Actually,
But I only do them at night, like super late at
true.
night because I got kids and work and stuff.
Yeah. We'll bring up one more conversation. This is something important because I know you're like me. You kind of talk about this stuff a lot already. You're a Star Wars fan like myself, so
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy recently came out retiring from the position. You know, passing the torch. Dave Filoni and some other weird chick who nobody knows, but I guess gets put in the limelight with Dave Filoni. But how do you feel about this? What was going through your mind when you heard that this chick was stepping down and Dave Filoni was coming up? And
Well, like when I heard it, I was just like, so freaking what? Dave Filoni is also a hack. He approved every project after Rise of Skywalker. At the very least, he was already in charge of everything Star Wars. So the Acolyte, the freaking Kenobi show, everything we've gotten has Dave Filoni. And the thing that Dave Filoni touched the least on was Andor, and that failed, but it was the most well written of anything Star Wars that we've gotten since George Lucas.
true.
And not only that, like people think, oh, Lucasfilm is saved. Usually when people say Lucasfilm, they're thinking about Star Wars. It's not saved because now, if even if you believe in Dave Filoni, he is gonna have his attention split because now he's in charge of Lucasfilm along with this other chick, who the other chick also said she was gonna be on the business side of things. And so he has to focus on Indiana Jones, Willow, Star Wars. He has to focus on all these other things and give already his garbage effort that he's given to Star Wars. He's going to even give less of that. And he's too attached to his characters. And all Lucasfilm has done is take things from the original EU and repurpose them. Like even Darth Maul, Shadow Hunter, Shadow Lord, or
Yeah,
whatever.
the animated film we're talking about, right?
Yeah, that's all based off and they're
Rebels.
not even official because George Lucas wrote 7 and 9 multiple times with multiple different directions. He never was solidified on one. He had a baseline what he was gonna do with every character and their end and whatnot. Like Mark Hamill talked about in an interview in the 80s where George Lucas asked him if he wanted to come back in 2011 and do episode 7.
Oh,
He
nice.
taught like you could find it on YouTube. And he's like, you're gonna be like the grand master, passing the torch to your grandkids. He already approved he was already thinking about Luke Skywalker getting married and all that stuff, right?
Mhm.
And so Shadow Lord is gonna be a rehash of the outlines he had for 7, 8, and 9 for Darth Maul being the main villain.
Being the main
But
villain.
yeah, because he was thinking about bringing Darth Maul back. Like they've toyed with the idea of Darth Maul multiple times. They came out with a comic. They came out with the
Rebels.
back in the day where no before Rebels where Uncle Owen kills Darth Maul, and that's the first time we see Darth Maul with mechanical legs. And he had this really sick double lightsaber, right? And then we see him come back in Clone Wars, and they kind of butcher him there.
Yep.
So yeah, like this is there's no good news here because she wasn't forced out. She retired. She's like
Yeah.
72, 75 years old. She's an old hag that was, by the way, very impressive in a matter of 14 years, ruined an entire company and a culture off the biggest IP that's ever existed, which is Star Wars. Very impressive. That's the only thing she's got to her name. She was able to destroy that, obliterate it, where a whole generation, like, dude, if you look, things that are going somewhat viral is new, like young kids, younger, like that are that are in high school or getting into college, reacting to Star Wars episode 1 through 6.
Mhm.
They've never seen it before. Like my kids have seen it coming out of the womb, dude. Like you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
And so like she's also still involved. She wrote it in her contract that she's still gonna be executive producers on shows
Yeah, she's still gonna have a voice.
and 2 movies. Like she's so yeah, like and we got to think about it. Lucasfilm as a company, the only reason they're alive is because Disney owns them. Like everything they've done, if Lucasfilm was by themselves, let's say George Lucas did all this bullcrap,
It would have filled a long
everything
time ago.
right now, we would have a sale of Lucasfilm, but in pieces. Hey, I'm selling Indiana Jones to Disney. I'm selling
It would
Star
have done
Wars
what
to Warner
Marvel did,
Brothers.
right?
Yeah, like he would have to do it because he'd be bankrupt.
Yep. Yeah, it would fail.
The only reason they're alive is because of Disney. Disney's just hawking money to keep it alive.
Mhm.
Disney doesn't like to say they failed.
Yep.
They'll never
And their
apologize.
characters, they get to use their characters
Yeah.
like at the parks and
Oh
stuff like
yeah.
that. So they get to still have, they still get to make money off of these things.
Mhm.
But it's been crazy. Like, so since Dave Filoni came in, apparently at the Galaxy's Edge at Disney
Mhm.
World or whatever land or whatever, Disneyland, they have it to where like the Kylo Rens and the Rays and the Finn characters,
Yeah,
like they've
yeah.
all been kind of like excommunicado, and they're kind of like, oh, well, we're bringing Darth Vader back, the original stormtroopers. We're gonna get a what is it, a Leia, a Han Solo character, a Luke Skywalker, and we're gonna get them to walk around more now. To
Yeah,
kind of
but
get
do you think that was like a night and day decision? No, like this was one of those things that's like, hey, Dave Filoni is going to continue the company as is, but we need to make people feel like it's changing for
yeah,
growth. So
okay.
Kathleen Kennedy set this stuff up. It's not just Dave Filoni coming in and like, oh, now finally
Yeah, from like
Kathleen
one
Kennedy
day to
doesn't
the
have a
next,
say.
right?
It's like, no, they've already prepped for this stuff.
Yep.
Hey, how are we going to implement this? How are we going to have Luke Skywalker walking around? What kind of actor? Like they have to audition. They have to keep it hush hush. They
Mhm.
have to design all this around it. And Kathleen Kennedy, like she's gonna be kind of like what Bob Iger did. Bob Chapek, when he took over Disney, he
Mhm.
took the fall for everything that was like a problem. But Bob Iger was still in the background handling all this bullcrap.
Mhm.
You know, he says he retired, but then he came out with his book and then took over and, threw Bob Chapek under the bus and came back
Yep.
as a CEO.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, as a fan, and we'll kind of close around with this, right? Where do you see Star Wars going from here? Do you see it coming back to the top, coming back to
Oh
its
no.
original vibe, or do you think it just keeps digging itself in a hole?
Look, we have to understand also the improvements of technology like AI and things like that because eventually I think the fans will keep it alive by talking about the EU. Like I have right here, I read the first chapter to show everybody like Heir of the Empire, like how
Mhm.
they used Thrawn and the good things about Thrawn in here. They used it in Rebels and then they made Thrawn like an idiot.
Like in the fucking
Um
show, he sucked, man.
yeah, yeah, like I think this is what Lucasfilm is gonna do. I think they're going to start. They introduced the World Between Worlds, also a Dave Filoni idea. So time travel
I
in
hate it.
Rebels. Yeah, it's stupid. I think what they're gonna do is they're going to redo the original trilogy. They're going to eventually redo 7, 8, or 6, 4, 5, and 6. Also, stupid idea, right? But unless the only way to kind of start course correcting is to first have a public apology of what they did, which they'll never do. Tell the whole fandom everything after 2013, because 2013 they launched the Kenobi novel and made it Legends, which is phenomenal. Um, Everything from 2013 up to now is no longer canon. We're bringing back the EU and we're adapting these stories of the EU. And don't worry about all these shows and everything. All that's done, and we're going to back to like what we had before, because the creator's still alive and George Lucas approved these things, and just him being alive, all the fans understand this is not what he wants, because he's also come out and says this is Disney stuff. My stuff is everything before that. That's my Star Wars,
Yeah, he's
specifically
kind of
one
put it
through
out there like
six.
the.
But yeah, he's done multiple, and I think we need to stop leaving, like, got to start leaving him alone, because people keep asking him like, "What do you think about Star Wars?" Like, you already know what his thoughts are. He's focused on his museum. He's focused on being a father, being a
Mhm.
husband. Let him live. He doesn't have long to live, man. Let him live the rest of his life in peace. If somebody after his death or along the line comes in, saves Lucasfilm from the grasp of Disney, great. But there's no way they can't. If all roads lead to the existence of 7, 8, and 9 still exist, you can't course correct that. You can't fix that. Like every show you're gonna watch and you're like, yeah, but the end result is this. Like even tiny things where like, oh yeah, we shouldn't have cursing in Star Wars. Boom. People are cussing
Yeah,
away
dropping the F
and
bomb.
yeah. Oh, we shouldn't have sex scenes. There's one somewhat in Andor. Oh, we shouldn't have like uh like our world politics in we should have politics but not our world politics in Star Wars. Dude, they put a random lesbian kissing scene in Rise of
Hmm.
Skywalker. And for the countries that don't allow that, they did it purposely to take it out. So they're just in
So that
it
they can't
to
even
try
show it,
to,
right?
yeah, they're just into doing things for a cash grab, but also their own ideology. Like they're not course correcting. They're not changing anything. They have things established. Like, and companies plan. People forget that these are businesses. They plan years ahead. Kathleen Kennedy would only choose a successor if she knew Dave Filoni's plan and agreed with
Is
it.
gonna do exactly what she says, or she says. Yeah.
George Lucas felt betrayed because Kathleen Kennedy, he chose Kathleen Kennedy, handpicked her, and she lied through her teeth right after he signed the contract.
Yep.
Like there's an interview, the 60-minute, not 60 minute, there's an interview where like he's signing the contract and he's like, I have these treasure trove of stories. I have over 100 outlines for 100
Oh,
different
I remember that.
films. Like there's all this rich history, all
And they
these
have all that.
books and
She's like,
novels. Yeah, and then like a year later, there was a press conference that she's like, it's not like Harry Potter where we have all these novels or 800 pages or 8,000 pages. I'm like, you literally have 50,000 years of lore to freaking get from, and that's what they've been using too. They've been
mhm.
using the EU to establish their bullcrap stories, their rehash of masterpieces, and like turning them to crap. Like Dave Filoni was the first one to do that. Mandalore, like if you read the book Republic Command, like Mandalore was very different than what we got in Clone Wars. And even the author didn't want to work with Lucasfilm anymore because she was so pissed at Dave Filoni for changing it. And then Dave Filoni made the excuse of like, well, it's a planet, everything is, you know, it's a big planet. But then
Yep.
later on, he's like, no, but all of Mandalore acts like this. And it's like, okay, then what the freak was that point? The point of you opening your mouth and talking about this stuff. So
Mhm.
like at the least the next 3 to 4 years, we're gonna get Kathleen Kennedy. Just like Warner Brothers being sold to Netflix, we're still gonna get James Gunn's plan.
Yeah, we're not gonna get like some
It's not gonna be a
huge.
magical change.
Yeah, good
Like
point.
maybe there's gonna be problems with releasing it to theaters and releasing it on Netflix, that kind of stuff, like how the business aspect of it, but the creative stuff that they've already have established, they wanted to buy things that were ready, that there was plans for. Like, why do you think the
Point.
guy announced? It's also for money. Like the guy in Warner Brothers announced The Hunt for Golem, Lord of the Rings. He announced the new DCEU. The first Superman movie launched. They announced a bunch of different TV shows that they're going to be doing. And and all these movies that they have plans for and they have already directors for.
Oh, movies, all movies.
So the potential drives the price super high.
Mm-hmm.
And then they bought it, but then also they care about their ideologies. So that's why the current president that's selling Warner Brothers is going to stay on with James Gunn as a creative because he wanted power. That's why he didn't go for the Paramount deal, because the Paramount deal isn't just a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and also you guys are not part of the deal.
Yeah.
So 100%. It wasn't just about money. It was about it's about having a lot of money, but still keeping power, because these guys are narcissists. They want it all.
They want it all.
And their plans have not changed. So whatever we think they were planning on doing, they're still gonna do it. Whatever Dave Filoni wants to do, even if he's like, "Oh, I'm in charge now and I want to change it for the better," he's not gonna be able to do it for another 2 years, 2 to 3 years for sure. So at the very least, 2 to 3 years is Kathleen Kennedy, and then also Dave Filoni. But
yeah, maybe we get something good later on.
I don't think we will, because even if it's good, even if we get like a masterpiece.
Yo, and that's because like I don't even think it was Dave Filoni. I think it was Jon Favreau more than both of them.
About what?
Like when they were creating, like when they first did the Mandalorian film and it was good, like the series. Like when it was like when there was care, right? You could feel when there was more care, and I think that was more Favreau than Dave Filoni.
I'll agree with it. The Mandalorian show still wasn't good. Like we perceived it as good because we were giving so much slop that like we finally have something that's original.
Yeah, bottom of the barrel shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but it still sucks. Like the lore was garbage. The things didn't make sense. Like how do the fobs work? You know, like having a puck and like this is who you have to hunt, that makes sense. But a fob that tracks people through the galaxy.
Yeah.
And this is 5 years after Return of the Jedi. Why couldn't Boba Fett use the same fob to track Luke and Han Solo and all them?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is insane. And then they used, even in season 1, they used the episode of Grogu force healing just to explain Rise of Skywalker. So when people watch Rise of Skywalker, they wouldn't be confused that Rey has force healing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember that that's also Jon Favreau. They also didn't believe that this was going to be successful because they didn't even have Baby Yoda toys. And I think one of the reasons we got seasons 2 and 3 the way it was is because they saw how popular Baby Yoda was, that they didn't know how to milk it.
Yeah, they were still kind of like, I mean, they got the character right because everybody thought it was great and cute and all this other shit. Yeah, but they still haven't even given us a definitive reason as to like why or how this character exists in the universe.
Yeah. And even though the moment was cool and all with Luke Skywalker in season 2, it wasn't enough to be like, okay, we are getting Star Wars now. Like, no, we're getting, if you see Ahsoka in anything, that's the Ahsoka that was saved through time travel. That still means we got a garbage universe. So there's even then, like Jon Favreau's also allowing this stuff to happen. He could walk away and be like, I'm sick of this paycheck. I'm going to go do my own thing because this isn't what I originally intended. No, you're still collecting a paycheck for the Mandalorian. You're still a part of it. You know? And so I like people are to blame, and Jon Favreau's a part of it. Dave Filoni has been a part of it since the beginning. He didn't speak out against it. Like, this guy doesn't care. Like, he believes in what he's doing. He believes that the reason why he can't let go of Ahsoka is because he also believes that his characters he's like surpassed George Lucas. That's what he believes. So, yeah, I do not think that there's any course correcting, that Lucasfilm is going to get better, that we're going to get Star Wars. I do think that the fans have a responsibility to save it. Great if somebody is able to become rich. You know, I'll aspire to it, you know, to become rich enough to buy Lucasfilm and fix it. But that's statistically a very improbable. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, probably not going to happen.
But with AI, with George Lucas always supporting the creator of doing fan films, we're going to get some good Star Wars from fans. Especially YouTubers.
Pretty much. Like the opportunity for like creators to kind of do their own thing and whatnot, right?
Excuse me. Yeah,
it's all good, dude. It's all good. It's cold outside, man. I get it.
I'm in the garage too.
But it's nice and warm, or is it cold in there?
No, it's warm, but it's like I have a fan going, so my throat's dry, and
Ah,
I've been drinking my soda.
I see that, bro. I see that. But like, is it cold where you're at? Did you guys get that crazy
No,
storm?
we got some cold
Because
last
you're in
week, and
Florida, right?
we're gonna get cold, and it does get really really cold.
Yeah.
But like today is hot. It's not.
Nice, bro.
It had a nice breeze, but the
Nice.
garage is a furnace. You know.
Enjoy, bro. Enjoy the nice breeze until that weather comes because it's
Yeah,
stupid,
dude.
man. Yeah, it got cold where we're at, but not too cold. But
Yeah.
um, well, cool, man. Relic.
Well, I didn't hear
Again.
what you wanted to say about Lucasfilm. Like, what do you
Well, I
think?
mean, I wanted to ask because I know you're a pretty good fan and you're pretty straightforward and you have a good mindset for it. It's interesting that you're saying that that the allocation of them switching over to Dave Filoni, like that Kathleen Kennedy, it makes a lot of sense that that she would still be somewhat involved in all this stuff, and she's trying to do her like box checking on all her stupid shit, and them
Hmm.
not being successful with the last trilogy, but it's still having some type of like, I guess, like new age Star Wars fan base, and then playing like the political jargon of like, oh, well, you're one of the old school fans, so you guys, the toxic Star Wars fan base is always split and all this stuff. I tell people it's because of the fact that we never really got a definitive ending to the story that was created a long time ago. And then they came in and they allocated the new story to the three new trilogies. They weren't good. They systematically killed off all the original characters in such a weird way, and then told us that these characters that were put there were so much better, and they were so much better that they could do stuff with the force that has never been done by people who were actually trained properly with it, and were able to do such fascinating things that Kylo Ren could grab a lightsaber from out of nowhere, pull it out, and then even be like, yeah, I know, I read the script and I didn't make sense, and then started fighting with it. And then like Finn, no fucking powers, was like, we got to go that way and blow up that thing because I know that that's creating the power because I feel it. And I'm like, oh, you should have just said, oh, we got to go that way because I read the script. Like that would have
Yeah.
made more sense. Even
Somehow Palpatine returned.
yeah, then Palpatine and
No, that's literally a line. How
he's
did
like,
he
I need
return?
these two fucking kids because I need power, even though I can create fucking 300 fucking star fleet destroyers and pull them out of the fucking ground with planet destroying lasers. But fuck these two kids. Like, I need to scoop them up. Like, it was a fucking sword or a knife that could just you stand on one random fucking spot that you found in the middle of a fucking
Yeah,
planet
and
and just pull the
deterioration in the
knife out and it
oceans are
just
not gonna freaking do anything to that
and the
material.
fucking rushing water is not going to change the fucking land, right? Like it's not going to
Yeah.
deteriorate the fucking cliffs under the ship, and the ship is it's just a fucking ship. Like the fucking metal in the sea salt will
Yeah.
deteriorate and break
And
apart, but the
not only that, there's
fucking
not gonna be scavengers, people looking for pieces and whatnot going over there. Like
and the
nobody's gonna do
motherfucker
that.
who made the knife literally had to stand there, build the fucking knife, and pick it up every 20 minutes to fucking over and over again, and then went to another fucking planet in a desert and died. Like, it's fucking. And then it had a little. Why even the sliding piece? Like, why the little fucking? What's the knife for? Why make it a fucking knife? Like, could have just made a fucking map or a telescope, or you could
Dude,
have fucking
it
coin. Like, what the?
like the reason why like the old fans, I wouldn't even say there's new fans. Like there's not really anybody fans. There's people that grandstand, people that support the same ideas, the ideology of what it portrays. Women are born perfect and they don't need no training. They don't need
Yeah.
no man, all that stuff. So there's people that are gonna yell on the internet being like, this is the best thing ever, but they're not gonna go support it. They're not gonna buy multiple tickets. They're not gonna buy merchandise. They're not going to play the video games. They're not gonna do any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like real fans, fanatic, are people who love it for its entirety, even with its flaws, fight against those flaws, but they'll still support it because it respects the material that they grew up with, and
True that.
they're going to spend thousands of dollars. that they do not have on action figures, merchandise, on even taking their friends to the movies. Like, man, I remember my brother was such a big fan of the like Michael Bay Transformers movie. He went 5 times to the point where his friends are like, "We're not gonna go watch this
To
again."
watch this fucking movie again.
Yeah, and he
True
still
that.
was able to convince them because it was so awesome. You know, like that's a fan. A fan isn't somebody who grandstands like after every fall. No, a fan is like, I love this thing and I want more of it.
And I want more of it.
Simple.
Yeah. True that. 100%.
But
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Alrighty, bro. Yeah, well, that's kind of like my shit. Like, I think, I mean, it's cool that we have someone, but like Dave Filoni, like he made a good show with the what was it, Rebels, and created a good character with Ahsoka. You know, I like her character and her origin story, but the live action was not handled well. And the way
yeah,
that they
like
did Thrawn, but I
like
understand too, like that he was still having to answer to the people that are there with Kathleen Kennedy that all say this has to be done, this has to be done, this has
well,
to.
not necessarily because it's like, okay, Ahsoka's an original character. Okay. You're you have the title Return of the Jedi, and multiple times throughout the original trilogy they say the Jedi are dead. You could have the last Jedi die right the day before Luke goes to Jabba's palace on Return of the
Jabba's
Jedi.
palace.
You
Yeah,
you can. You can. But there's like 50 freaking Jedi alive after Return of the Jedi. What the
yeah.
fuck is
They even
this?
created a good character with Cal Kestis.
Yeah, and Ahsoka comes back as a Jedi, and like, what a beautiful ending to like Ahsoka being killed by Darth Vader, like so that we understand that there was only one person, maybe two, that could have saved Darth Vader and bring him back to the light,
And
and it
brought
was
him
his
back to Anakin,
kids.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it was his
I
kids, and
even had
only
like
that.
I even had like this really nice theory a while back, and they kind of like made it a little bit closer, which was cool. That Luke becomes a Jedi Master after
Mhm.
being taught after Yoda dies by Ahsoka Tano.
I
Like
thought that. I think that would be super stupid.
that would because then he ends up going fighting his father and fucking being taught by his Padawan. Like you know what I mean? Like there was something about it that was like so great storytelling. And then
I think the concept sounds awesome,
mhm.
but I think what we got because Luke saved his father. He didn't beat Vader though.
Yeah, he didn't beat Vader. Yeah.
He literally Vader was messing with him and then threatened him, and Luke somewhat tapped into the dark side with his anger and went after Vader, and that's how he was able to stop him, but not with the light.
Mhm.
So his resistance against Darth Sidious was him becoming the Jedi Knight, and I think that's a much more beautiful story where it's like, yeah, maybe you're not gonna be the strongest, maybe you're not gonna even win,
Yeah.
but what's more important than winning is keeping your integrity, is being a good person, and then like the good prevails. So Anakin came back,
Hmm.
and like there's a lot like people try to give the benefit of the doubt, and I use Ahsoka as a big example because Ahsoka in season 7 of Clone Wars, she's cut off from the Force. She's only been trained by Anakin for like 2 years
2 years.
max.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that the only person that could feel Order 66 was Yoda, which makes sense. Maybe Mace Windu, but we don't know if he's dead. We definitely don't see him after
That's
before
why I
Order
wanted to come
66,
back
right?
for Grogu, dude. That's why I was hoping they were gonna bring back for Grogu.
Which would have been fine. Like that, even if Disney did that, that would have been fine.
Hmm.
But you're telling me Ahsoka felt Order 66 and Anakin turned to the dark side across the galaxy, which Padme felt there was something wrong with Anakin, and she was on the same planet.
Hmm.
Obi-Wan didn't, and Obi-Wan raised this fool,
Hmm.
and they have a way deeper connection than she can ever dream of having with Anakin.
Yep.
So does Padme, and even Master Yoda, which Master Yoda didn't really treat him super well. I would say Master Yoda treated him worse than Mace Windu. Everybody just harkens on the fact of that line of like, take a seat, like you're not ready to be a master or whatever. But if you remember, Yoda says on Phantom Menace that the council agrees to Obi-Wan training, but Yoda's the only one that opposes. And Yoda wasn't like stopped being the Grand Master at that point. It was Mace Windu all the way to Attack of the Clones, And then because Count Dooku the Clone War started, Mace Windu like demoted himself because he felt like he's responsible for the Clone Wars. And
Yeah.
then Yoda was back as Grand Master. And that is the freaking lore. And you're telling me Ahsoka, somebody who cut herself off from the Force, uh, rejected the Jedi and its training, you know, rightfully so, like she could do that,
Mhm.
but she's going to be able to not only feel all that stuff and beat Darth Maul in a lightsaber duel.
Yeah, no shit. That
Like,
was
come on,
nasty. I
man.
don't think that was
You
bad.
obviously want this chick to be the forefront of Star Wars because it's the only good thing you've ever done. Like
Well, even the idea
the
of
writing's
like,
on the wall.
even like the idea, like it was a good hero journey, like you said earlier, for her to die at the hands of Darth Vader
Yeah,
in that little Sith temple, right?
yeah.
But like Dave
But like
Filoni had Dave
Dave
Filoni like
Filoni wrote it so it's all convoluted. Like, how did Rex resist the inhibitor chip when Cody would like Obi-Wan, part of the 212th, Cody just fired at him immediately. Like, it will be done, my lord. Fire. Boom.
boom.
Explodes him. And
Yep.
Rex can resist. Like, you're not even looking at her face. Shot to the back of the head, done. That would have been cold. It would have been crazy. And dude, I would have had so much respect for him. There's gonna be backlash and everything. But if he did that, awesome. But you like the clones also had orders. Like that was also changed. If you look at the Battlefront 2 video games, there
Mhm.
was the journals that the clones would talk about like when they executed Order 66. And then later they changed the lore to have inhibitor chips so that in case they resisted their order, it would push them to do that order through so you can't
Mhm.
actually resist.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
you
whole
were gonna
point of the
have to do
chip.
it either way.
Yeah, and Captain Rex, like, he was able to resist just so Ahsoka could be alive. That's so freaking convenient, man.
Mary Sue kind of
Yeah.
shit. But yeah, yeah, and it's because like also Dave Filoni, like again, I remember after the show, like the Clone Wars? No,
Yeah.
was it Clone Wars when she dies? Yeah, Clone
Yeah.
Wars.
No,
Uh,
no, Rebels. She dies in Rebels.
yeah, he would
Ahsoka,
always
right?
go to Comic Cons and be like, Ahsoka lives and fucking the Return of Ahsoka. Like he was always wearing fucking
Yeah.
shirts, and no one knew this shit was gonna happen. Like, but he was always like, nah, 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 bro, nah. And I think he's the one that created like the idea of the fucking in between shit and the time travel shit.
Yeah, yeah, it's Dave Filoni. I talked about that.
I
Yeah.
despise time travel, bro.
Yeah, that's the only reason she's alive because Darth Vader does kill her. And then Ezra, like, grabs
Yeah, but I
Ahsoka. And then
hate time
Ahsoka's
travel
like,
in
well, you
stories.
can't save Kanan. Why? Because it made you
Oh,
who you
because
are.
he saved everybody else.
Yeah, and it's like, it made you who you are. You don't want to kill those. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? So did you, and I saved you. Now that I saved you, I can't save nobody else. Are you retarded?
Why don't they just create like some kind of fucking shield that Kanan does
Yeah,
in
and then
front of
it's like, oh,
him
but like if you
while
save
he's
them, like,
saving them still, and just
yeah,
encase him in the bubble that saved Leia in fucking space or whatever. And then when the fucking flame is gone, and he's like, "Whoa, I thought I was gonna get blown up," and be like, "We got you, bro. Come on, let's
yeah,
go to Arby's or whatever." Like,
yeah.
nah, fucking, yeah, so dumb, dude.
Dude, yeah,
That's why I
like
hate time
it's
travel so much, man. I
like
hate time
time
travel shit
travel.
so much.
I hate time travel, but it can be done well. Like
Heroes.
I will never say it can be done right because there's so many questions, but you have to create your own lore around time travel and how it
The
works.
first season of Heroes does extremely well with time travel with the character of
Yeah,
Hiro Nakamura.
I would say freaking Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z too. Yeah.
I know we didn't get to talk about Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon
Yeah,
Ball
there
Z
was some
does.
fucking great shit that
Yeah.
got dropped today for Dragon Ball Z. If you guys didn't know this week, like there was a lot of shit. A lot of shit. You guys gotta check it
Mm.
out. But yeah, man. Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. I mean, Dave Filoni coming in, I don't know what it means. I mean, again, beforehand, Kennedy used to say the reason why Dave Filoni didn't have a lot of power in the first place or never sat in a bigger thing is because he couldn't run a production or a studio. So she had to have him like him, shadow her.
Yeah,
So she had to like teach him to do what she wanted.
which I
So,
totally understand, but the thing is, she made him in charge of Star Wars as a whole,
mhm.
but like years before this. So if you've been complaining about Star Wars and you the past 5 years, that's Dave Filoni, man. It's not Kathleen Kennedy. That's Dave
Yeah, it's
Filoni.
kind of
And so
true.
if you believe, so just just from that, if you're talking about because Lucasfilm is one thing, Star Wars is another. Star Wars is gonna maintain the same route. Still
Mhm.
garbage, still a bunch of wacky Power Ranger Vespas on Tatooine,
Yeah,
still Lizzo as some sort of Jabba the Hutt daughter queen,
with
so she looks
fucking Jack Black, dude.
yeah, like that's still Dave Filoni. That's him.
Mhm.
So like I want to be positive. I don't want to be the negative guy, but like the writing's on the wall and they don't deserve our benefit of the doubt. They don't. So once they can produce five perfect things back to back, then I think you're good to be like, okay, well, we can now be excited for the next thing.
For the
But
next
there's
one.
no way.
True.
There's no way. Like my apathy has set in. I don't care what they do. Because I got my books, I got my comics, Dark Horse comics, read the Legacy comics,
Got
Cade
my history.
Skywalker. You want to know the great love story of Mara Jade and Luke Skywalker and how Mara Jade was the hand of the Emperor. Go
Mhm.
read, go get yourself some comics. Like I'm not trying to prolong the podcast, but
No, 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 you're good.
I I wanted to point out something. I went to a big red vintage toy shop and they used to have the biggest Star Wars section. It was awesome. Now they won't even sell Star Wars no more because it just doesn't move. And
Yeah,
it's a
no shit.
vintage toy shop. They only have like the 80s, like really small action figures,
Hmm.
and that stuff moves. But like, dude, before you could sell a lightsaber like from Ultra Saber Saber Forge, and people would give you more money than what you paid for it, and they would even sell it for that much more and make
Yep.
a profit. Now they won't even look at lightsabers, man.
Yeah, because it's just not interesting people anymore.
Yeah.
It's just not interesting people. They've lost the fan base horribly in the last several years. But yeah, we'll
Yeah,
have to
man.
see what happens. I mean, it's interesting times that we live in. So
It's
just
crappy
have to see how it
times.
goes, man. Yeah, just have to see how it goes. Relic, I appreciate you for jumping on the show, man. I appreciate you for
Heck
being
yeah.
here. Where can people find you if they want to add you up and stuff like that?
Well, on YouTube, The Last Relic or at The Last Relic. You can also find me on Instagram. You could DM me there or I have my email as well.
Hmm.
I'm also on Kick when I do live streams. I stream on both, so if you don't like Kick, stay on YouTube
Nice.
from there. Uh, but yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Guys, to all our extraordinary listeners, we appreciate you guys always coming in with us on Sunday. Appreciate everybody who jumped in the chat and jumped in and talked with us. We hope you guys have a great week. Stay warm. It's going to be cold for a couple days, but you're going to be all right. Just put on a coat, wear some socks. Don't be a fucking sandals wearing turd in the middle of nowhere in the cold and shit. All right. So, um, yeah. So we hope you guys have a great weekend or a great week, actually, because we're the ending of the weekend. And we'll see you guys again here next Sunday, Average Boys Podcast. Appreciate you guys. Laters.
Peace.